So hopefully it doesn't explode. Right. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Very slow news week this week. Not much has happened, but we'll try and we've got a few things to talk about. We got Charlie Kirk, right? The story of the week. Charlie Kirk has been assassinated, as I'm sure you are aware. We've got the girl in the bus who was stabbed by the black guy. We have a revolution in Nepal. We have the Zoomers of Nepal have stormed parliament, and apparently they've elected a new president or prime minister, and they did it on Discord. So that's interesting. We have, we have the big Tommy Robinson rally yesterday, and we have some kind of story of Keir Starmer, which I don't even look into. I'm hoping one of you two can explain that to me. But they put somebody up, and then he had connections with Epstein, and so they had to get rid of him. We've also got this Oxford University thing, which people are talking about. Some black dude in Oxford University who's just who's supporting the murder of Charlie Kirk and saying we need to get rid of right-wing people, whatever we can do. So just another scumbag, and a lot of things going on. So Tharium, what do you think, mate? Charlie Kirk. I guess we'll start there. I'll tell you my take. My take. Obviously, I'm very upset about Charlie Kirk getting assassinated, and I think he was a good guy. I think he was a nice guy. I think he was harmless, and he was the guy that talked to people. He's the guy that went to the campuses and talked to people. And I think him getting assassinated obviously is going to radicalize a lot of people. So, there's that. But at the same time, I do feel slightly disappointed because we did have this girl and she was stabbed. And I don't know, like I've been on the internet covering politics for a long time. And it just felt like there was like an emerging racial awareness. Like the white man had just got fed up with getting attacked and stabbed by blacks. And you had a lot of East celebrities just coming out saying, right, we've had enough of this. This is bullshit. We had Trump coming out saying like they're going to execute the guy. They're going to bring back the death penalty. And it just looked like, I don't know, it looked like a school of fish. It just kind of like turned. And then all of a sudden, Charlie Kirk is assassinated. And now the entire conversation is about Charlie Kirk and freedom of speech. So I know I'm being a little bit tinfoil hat about this, but it seemed to me like before Charlie Kirk, we had this awakening of white consciousness, and now it's just kind of gone. And we're back to freedom of speech again, talking about freedom of speech, which by the way, the Tommy Robinson rally, what's it about? Freedom of speech, right? It's not about mass immigration. It's not about grooming gangs. It's not about black people stabbing white people. It's about freedom of speech. They always pivot towards freedom of speech instead of talking about the actual issue itself, which is mass immigration and foreigners just attacking us left, right, and center. So instead of attacking the question itself, the thing itself, it's like, no, do we have the freedom of speech to talk about the thing itself? So I'm a little bit annoyed. Anyway, that's my tinfoil. I don't know if they did it deliberately to change the narrative. That's little bit.
This was being planned for a lot longer.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, but that's my comment on the narrative. Anyway.
Well, should I tell you what annoys me the most about the whole thing? It's the fact that some media organisations called it the Reform Rally.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
We're talking about the Tommy rally.
Yeah. I think the BBC referred to it as a Reform Rally.
Wow. Oh, fuck up! Nigel could never bring in a crowd that big.
Yeah. Well, that's what really pissed me off about it. Sort of like, because I to be fair, they're a bit too up themselves anyway to take credit for it, thankfully. But it doesn't matter. It's all like I've explained why Reform are going to get it. It's public perception of what they think they are. That's the problem.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Nigel doesn't like Tommy Robinson.
No.
So this is the eternal game that we're stuck in. We've got two controlled opposition actors. We've got Farage, who's for like the middle class, white England that's fed up with mass immigration. And then we've got Tommy Robinson, who's for the working classes, and they dislike each other. And so you've got this eternal conversation and debate of like, why can't they work together? And it just goes back and forth, and it's endless. And the media is constantly trying to play the game of putting Farage into the Tommy Robinson camp so that they can associate Farage with violence and thuggery. I don't know. To be honest with you, I think Farage is just sitting pretty. I mean, obviously, I don't like the guy, but he's sitting pretty. He's set to be the next prime minister. Why would he take the risk of hanging out with Tommy?
I'd trust Tommy more than Nigel at this point, to be honest. I think Nigel is just that full of shit. And JB, that is not 35% of the population supporting reform. There's 35% of people who say they're voting. He doesn't have that many.
You don't think he's set up for the next election?
No, he is.
He's set up for the next election,
but
there's no contention on that.
Yeah, JB's saying 35% of the population support him. That's not true. But it's more the fact that everyone else is just so bad.
Yeah. It is a bit like Nigel Farage, the best of the sexually transmitted diseases.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
Like Ben Habib's got his advanced thing going. See where that goes for now, but like Ben isn't the leader.
Oh, sorry, just showing on my personal private messages on Twitter. I don't think there's anything bad on there. I just forgot. I'm live streaming my. Is there anything bad there? There's
nothing bad there. There's nothing bad.
Was there just some messages? I'm not gay, mate. That's what I said to play. And there you go. Well, anyway, whatever.
Yeah. there we go. We see everything. I didn't see that. I just didn't think there was anything bad in that sort of group chat we got going on.
No, I don't think there's anything bad. I was just inviting people. I mean, just to say, because we were going to have a guest on, but he hasn't turned up. We had a guest the week before and the week before that. But it is an open show, guys, for everybody in the Bob Altberger. If you want to come on, or anybody wants to come on, the idea is it's just relaxed, it's laid back, it's chit chat. It's a Sunday night. We don't really do much research. I don't do much research anyway. People just want to come on the show. You can come on the show for a chit chat. So you're welcome to come on. If you are too much of a Nazi, I might throw you off. But if you know, as long as you're not too
can I invite someone on?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I'll get an old friend on if he's about.
Let's talk. I haven't even watched it. I hope I'm not going to get copy strike for this, but I don't think I will.
And there's no music, is there?
Fuck no!
No.
Can you put your hands together?
This is fine.
And make some noise. Bizarra Sultana! Student debt, rising bills, crippling public services, genocide in Gaza. And right now, fascism growling at the door. And we say, fuck no, we are going to fight back. For the first time in a long time, we are saying, we're not here to beg for crumbs off the table. We're taking the fucking lot.
Just amazing. Like, she's literally saying it in front of a crowd of white people, and they're like, yeah. It's like, don't they understand what she's saying? Like, it's just insane.
Well, it's weird. Like, I think they actually imagine it's just going to be all multicultural and that everyone will be the same. It's like the multicultural dream will actually be true rather than conquest.
Yeah. I think it's just a case of young people. Young people are dumb and they're in their 20s and they want to go out and they want to party. And I mean, I remember what it was like in my in my teenager years anyway. Like, you want a wide circle of friends, and you don't really pay attention to politics. You don't really have any experience, but you want to be friends with everybody. And so it's very kind of natural when you're young, I think, to adopt this kind of like open open your arms to everybody kind of attitude. And I guess that just gets politicized, I suppose. You don't want to be the racist guy because then you'll be unpopular, and then you won't have so many friends, and then you might not get to have sex. And that's it. That's the bottom line. If you're 20 years old, you want to get laid, So
I mean, this is the sneaky male feminist, isn't it? They're really just a rapist, but they pretend all of the male feminist crap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even know if that's part of it. But I mean, for most people, I think they just want to be friends with everyone. They just want to be friendly. I think right-wing conservative people. I think conservatism happens either when you get older in life or when you have children, and then you have children. You got a wife. Now you got a family. Now you got a house, now you got a mortgage, now you start to think in a natural and organic way. You will start to think, what's going on with the economy? What kind of world are my children going to grow up into? And your circle of friends will shrink, right? Because now it's just you and your wife and maybe a few friends at work or whatever. And then you grow up basically, and until you've crossed that threshold, you're probably just going to be a lefty, basically.
Yeah, that's the default state.
That's the default state. I mean, I wasn't really much of a lefty when I was a teenager, but looking back, I would have been like, oh yeah, racism's terrible, and I would have just echoed all of the mottos without even thinking about it, because I didn't have anything in my head except like Jimi Hendrix and the NME and whatever I used to read when I was a teenager.
Did you used to read The Enemy? Because I
did, yeah.
I was subscribed to The Enemy, and I've still got the CD. But when they were promoting Hope Not Hate as well, and you didn't think much about that organisation. But I remember having a vitriol kind of. I'm not sure I like that in music. My music magazine. Why is politics here?
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't read them in years. When I was a teenager, I used to read it every week and just look at all the different bands and like, ooh, what's going on? Got really into it. Yeah, they're very left wing now. I have had a look in recent.
Left wing though, like
yeah, they've always been left wing. Yeah.
But it didn't matter, did it? Because you thought you were left. I thought I was left wing. Maybe I was. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I've changed all that much. My stances have become a bit more hardline. But
I didn't even know the difference. I got to be honest with you. What is left wing? What is right wing? I genuinely didn't even understand the difference when I was. I guess things just weren't that politicized. Maybe people just didn't use the term right wing, left wing. I don't think that these terms were so prevalent back in the 90s. I don't think everything was so polarized. I mean, I guess I was vaguely aware that Tony Blair was Labour, but I don't know. I just didn't really seem to be.
Well, it's one of those things. It's very difficult to get in the mindset of a normie again. But at one stage, most people were a normie because you're not born with all the knowledge of politics ever. So there must have been a point where you were a normie yourself. I know I was a normie up until the early 2010s when I started watching Sargon.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Hello, youth pastor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Long time no see.
Yes, Mercy and Darren, good to see you again.
Hello.
We're talking about when we were normies. When I was a teenager, long time ago, I didn't even know what a Muslim was. This is the embarrassing. I genuinely did not even know.
Yeah.
Because I remember going to university, and I just remember saying to someone like, "What is all this Muslim thing? What is this Islam?" Muslim stuff. Like I just didn't know because they never taught it in school in RE. We didn't have any Muslims in my town. My town was just like 99.999% white. There was one black guy and like one Indian, and I just didn't know
them by name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Everybody recognized the black guy. There was one black guy who used to walk around town. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's a black dude," you know.
yeah. I actually grew up in an area of it was Kingston on Thames, so kind of it couldn't quite decide whether it was Surrey or Greater London. But we had, I would say, 2, maybe 3 Muslims, all girls, in my school. It was a Church of England school as well, but none of them wore the hijab or burqa or anything like that. It was just dressing the same as everyone else.
Yeah, hang on. So Kingston. So the stone is there. The stone of Ethelstan is in Kingston.
So I believe, yes. I have to admit, I never went looking for it because I wasn't that interested at the time.
Well, are people aware of it?
In London now?
Well,
Well, I didn't even find out until recently. I mean, like a year ago, I think we started talking about it, didn't we, Tharium? We were talking about Ethelstan and we went into it. But my understanding is like the old Saxon kings were crowned on the stone of Ethelstan. 7 Saxon kings were crowned on it, and then the Normans came over, and then Longshanks went up to Scotland, and he took the stone of Scone from Scotland, and from that point onwards, the English kings were crowned on the stone of Scone. But the stone of Ethelstan is still there.
The stone of Ethelstan, I believe, was no longer used by the time that Longshanks was up there because they'd moved to Westminster Hall.
Yeah.
So, and so the whole thing of being crowned on the stone of Scone was that the stone of Scone was underneath the throne of the British monarch, or rather the English monarch, and therefore kind of they were kept to heel was the symbolism of it.
Yeah, or they wanted to just like Longshanks wanted to declare himself king of Scotland, basically. It was a way of like dominating them.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it. I mean, I want a restoration. I think we need to have a Saxon restoration, and I think we need a new king, and he should be crowned on Ethelstan's stone.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we got to do. Because these Normans are no good. We've had 1,000 years of Normans, and they're no good. We've got to get rid of them.
I mean, Charles is a direct descendant of Alfred the Great, but he's just not it.
No.
Like, I mean, he's...
Well, seems like though, either.
No. I think William probably won't be as bad as Charles because you can't get much worse than Charles being a secret Muslim and all this.
Well, it has been argued that Charles is also a descendant of Muhammad, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just rolling that out because they're getting ready to convert. That's all that's going on.
Well, I mean, ultimately, it's one of those things. It's like pretty much everyone is a descendant of Genghis Khan because he put it about so much, and so much time has passed.
Yeah.
In the same way with Muhammad, it's been suggested that because so much time has passed, his genetic material has been able to spread so far, and so it'd be the case with anyone. It could be just some random bloke called Muhammad, just as much as the Muhammad who's the prophet of Islam. That we could be descended from just because of the amount of time that's passed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but still, I mean, I think they're putting it out there because they're just getting ready because they know that this country is going to be conquered by Islam, and so when it is, the royal family just wants to, say, well, actually, we're descended from Muhammad, and then there'll be a big conversion, and that'll be that.
Bleak, thank you for that.
Well, I mean, that's where we're heading towards. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Charles's health is quite bad at the moment. He's probably not got much longer left.
Yeah, he's not going to reign like his mother did.
Yeah.
That's for certain.
Good.
If the cancer returns, then yes. But you have a look at his mum and dad were both I can't remember. Did Elizabeth pass 100, or was she still in the 90s?
I think the Queen Mum was about 100 years old. I think.
The Queen Mum was. I'm thinking of the Queen. I know she was. If she wasn't 100, she was definitely very close. You have a look at Philip. He was well in his 90s.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, I think William's no good. I think Kate Middleton's quite good. Apparently, she went to visit the families of the Southport murders.
Oh,
Apparently, that's what I heard. They didn't publish it. They didn't speak about it on the press, but she did make a point of going. So maybe she's okay. I don't know, but I just feel like we deserve better. Like why should we be ruled over by incompetent idiots that obviously don't care about us? Just because of what? Tradition? I don't think so. Apparently Liechtenstein, they elect their king. So let's have a king's moot.
do they?
That's what I saw.
I didn't think so.
I think it gets confirmed by some kind of referendum.
Yeah.
If we're going to have an election, then I think we have to go back to the Saxon way of doing it. So they have to be within the royal family. They have to have been descended from a certain point. And I don't want to go all the way back to Alfred because otherwise that'll be pretty much everyone as well.
Yeah, well, that's good, isn't it?
But if you were to say anyone within the House of Windsor, for example, something like that.
Do we have anyone?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'd rather just have a strong man and he takes over and then just bumps, not gets rid of them, but just forcibly abdicates them and takes over. That's what I want.
Well, I thought we settled for we'll get George in, but we'll have a regent in for a while.
Yeah, we can have George. I mean,
that's top of the list.
I mean, that's the compromise. That's the compromise. I just feel like there should be a punishment. Like what has happened to us?
It used to be. In the past, there would be.
Yeah. They just get away with it. These rich people just get away with everything, and it's they don't deserve. They don't deserve to rule over us. I just don't think they. I think they've broken the social contract.
How about we have King George VII now, but we have Princess Anne as the regent, because she's someone that's got a good deal of respect for the position of monarch. I mean, look how she was in the time of mourning for Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've heard she's a bit more on the base side as well.
See, I get youth pastoring and sensibleness comes in. None of this Casanova nonsense.
Oh.
I mean, the thing as well, talking purely from the kind of the reason why the monarchy actually makes any sense, it only makes sense if you're looking at it from it's part of an ongoing dynastic family, because as soon as it becomes just a random person that you've voted in, well, at that point it's a president, and it also has no real pull. The reason why we have so many people going to so many buildings that are either currently owned or have been owned by the royal family in the past is because there is that ongoing sense of history, not just in the past, but continuing to be lived out through the descendants of the people that were there.
No, I absolutely understand that, and I would agree. But I would argue that if a strong man was to appear, and if the strong man was to kick all the foreigners out, then he would be such a great personality that he would be able to fill those shoes. That would be my argument. And you could also frame it as a Saxon restoration. You could also say, look, we've had 1,000 years of the Normans, and now we're having a people's king.
Well, except that we are also descended from the Saxons by virtue of Henry I marrying into the line of Wessex as well. But obviously, because he was a man, it was still considered to be descended from William I.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could have it so that you have a queen's consort like Prince Philip was, who marries, say, Princess Charlotte, and that's the line that we end up going down. You could have something like that quite easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, which one of us is going to marry Princess Charlotte?
No. How old is she?
Too young.
Oh right.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I'm
Depends.
so glad. I'm so glad I stayed silent for that one.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I mean,
that,
the old,
Kate Middleton's daughter, Princess Charlotte.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh right. God. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
She's too
Old enough for Muhammad, probably.
No,
well,
she's
yeah.
too old for Mohammed.
Too old for Muhammad. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd have consummated by now.
Oh jeez.
I mean, the old Saxon days, they did have the king would be picked by the Witan.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. That if you're going to go down the elected route, then you go for the Witan.
Yeah.
And we renamed Winchester as Wittenshire, or Wittencester, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saxon Restoration. I just feel like that's the English story. We've had 1,000 years of struggling against the Normans, and this is the worst of it. This is like the final conclusion. Like this is like the real final betrayal of these people who are just. I mean, look at the House of Lords. They're just sitting there and they're doing nothing. There's 800 of them. Some of them are hereditary, and even the ones that aren't in the House of Lords. I mean, there are still a lot of aristocrats in this country, and they all go to Eton and they go to Oxford. And what are they doing? What are they saying? I mean, we've just had this huge demonstration in the middle of London. We've got Tommy Robinson, we've got Ant Middleton, we've got Katie Hopkins, we've got all these people. I didn't really watch any of it because I just watched a few minutes and I just thought, like, none of these people actually know how to speak. They've got no powers of oration. It's just like rah, 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 and it's so depressing to watch. But where are the laws? Where is the aristocrat that's standing up and with the people of England and leading? I mean, these people have the education to do it. They have the knowledge of history. They have the connections to do it, and they don't do anything. They don't care. So I have no sympathy for them whatsoever.
I mean, they're shit libs, all of them.
They're awful. They've got their big house in the country, and they don't care about the working classes getting raped by Muslims. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about the working classes. Never have.
No, they never have. Yeah.
I mean,
ultimately, this is the thing historically, that people have never cared about the working class, which is why you ended up with the Labour Party being formed, and they were the first people to seemingly legitimately care about the working class. But the problem is that even when they didn't care, there was usually some kind of deference referred to the working class every now and then. I mean, you look at the way that the working class who were a part of the army during World War One and World War Two were referred to. They were very regularly referred to with an element of honouring them for the fact they were doing the work. There's been a deference to the fact that the working people of the land were the ones that brought in the crops and all of that kind of stuff. So even though the landed gentry and so on would lord it over them in position, there's still an element of looking to them. But right now, they couldn't give a damn about that.
I mean, is this maybe because, like, the old aristocracy it's lost all its power, basically? It's the middle class shit libs who are in control of everything. You know what I mean? Because there used to be that aristocrat and, like, sort of working class alliance against. There
was, you hear that in old Billy Connolly jokes where he talks about the working class and that that word getting on so well together, but the middle class is just thinking that they're better than the working classes and wanting to cope with the aristocrats, but the aristocrats going, you know, who are you? Sort of thing.
I think they got on with each other in the country. I mean, I did hear stories about, you know, the old lord of the manor. He'll go to the pub and he'll sit there and, you know, talk to the local people. So I mean, yeah, but maybe it just broke down in the cities. Maybe that's where it all broke down. But anyway, we have a special guest on the show, Dino Ban. Welcome to the show, mate.
All right, guys, how's it going?
Hi. Thank you for coming on. This is
I'm sorry I'm late. I wasn't going to come on. I'm not feeling great, and I thought it'd be super rude to just not tell you. And then I thought, no, I'll jump on. Fuck it, let's just do it.
Yeah. We're just rambling on about the monarchy and about aristocrats and this, that, and the other. But obviously, the big news story of the week, which we haven't really talked about much because we drifted away from it. But Charlie Kirk. So what's your hot take on that? Do you know?
I've spoke quite a lot on this. Ultimately, what's happened with Charlie Kirk is that there's been that bullet didn't just hit Kirk; it hit the West, and it's woke everyone up in a way that I don't think could have been possible. And it might sound a little bit too early to say this, but I think this is probably, obviously we want him to be alive. Everyone wants him to be alive. But what's going to happen as a result of this is going to be the exact opposite of what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
It does seem like it seems like they've shot themselves in the leg. Like I don't know, like they've just radicalized an entire generation. I don't really understand why they would be so stupid to do it, to be honest with you.
Well, I'll say one thing I am worried about: the fact that Ben Shapiro is taking over Turning Point. Is that correct?
I heard that was fake.
That sounds fucked up.
I heard that was fake though.
Yeah, but he'd get
good.
slaughtered. He'd just get people coming up to him and saying, well, what about Israel? What about the Jews? Over and over and over and over again. He wouldn't be able to answer any of their questions.
I did hear there was a interaction not long ago between Charlie and Ben Shapiro, because Charlie had recently been sort of, I don't know, getting a bit more skeptical about Israel and stuff. And he was, I think he was calling Epstein a Mossad agent and stuff. And Ben Shapiro wasn't happy with that.
Yeah, it leans into a lot of conspiracy theories, and I hate conspiracy theories, especially ones like this where it's all about secret cabals and affiliations to countries and ideologies that you can't prove. It's all nasty and messy. It's just very difficult to find any truth in that.
Especially with this one, when we know we've got just a crazy, nutty, trans leftist. They're a problem too. We don't need to pretend that they're not.
Well, I've been saying for a long time that Western civilization needs to have another conversation around homosexuality and transgenderism, race and ideologies and religions, because we've been ignoring the fact that these people are normal. Sorry, not normal. We've been treating everyone as though they're the same people, and that their ideologies are just as important as everyone else's, and that it's not going to influence their decisions. They're going to be honest about it, when in fact, as we're finding out, they seem to be just mental, absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah. I 100% agree. We need to make it illegal again. Sorry. I mean, I sat on the fence about the gay question for a long time, but just after repeated experience of dealing with these people, I just think, as you say, they're mentally ill. They're basically mentally ill. I think one of the things that made my mind up was there was some kind of scientific study that somebody did like a few years ago, and they compared like pictures of like people like showing
disgust
pictures of like dead bodies and stuff to people.
Yeah,
and people had the same reaction of disgust to that they had to an image of two men kissing. And it just really drives it home. It's just like such an unnatural kind of weird thing that you've got to have something wrong in your brain to want to do that, or even to want to tolerate that. And I just think I think they're all mentally ill, basically.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily go as far as making it illegal, but I'd certainly say that we need to stop normalizing. Because the whole idea of what is and isn't normal is based on what most people do, and it's very clear that most people are not gay, because otherwise we'd have a major issue when it comes to the population number.
Well, do you think it's just all psychological and spiritual warfare?
I think there's potentially a good argument for both on that, and particularly the way that if you have a look. Go back to 1997 and Blair becoming Prime Minister. At that point, there was nothing and that's not that long ago. That's just under 30 years ago. There was nothing in the teaching that were going in schools to do with it or anything like that. And in 30 years, we've seen such a massive change. So there's definitely stuff that's been within the system that has brought about this change and changed so quickly.
I think also it's a double-sided thing, because one, like gay tolerance and all that crap has never been greater, but at the same time, their own rhetoric of how people want them dead, like Trump's going to be setting up gay death camps, has only increased as well. So you've got it coming at both ends, really.
Well, this is the other thing, because I was actually saying this just the other day. You have a look at how the rhetoric has repeatedly been done by the left. I don't know whether Bill Maher was definitely saying this about previous presidential candidates from the Republicans before Trump, but certainly when it came to Trump in his first run for the presidency, Maher was on, I can't remember if it was on his own show or he was on another show, where he was saying how people said that that Romney and McCain and Bush were all evil and Hitler, and that was clearly just rubbish. But look at Trump. I mean, clearly he is. But that just shows how long the vilification of Republican presidential candidates has been going. And then you have a look in more recent times at the continued vilification in the media by comedians, and whether we like it or not, comedians are one of the biggest influencers right now, because they have such a massive platform and have such control over that platform that they are all in the mainstream comedian area, they are pretty much all leftists, and all of that gets pushed and pushed and pushed. And when you have a look at the fact that at the very least transgenderism is definitely a mental illness, and people are being normalized in that, normalized in various other things that should only be kind of a vague fad when they were growing up and then told, oh, don't be so stupid, and then they stopped doing it anymore, like furryism and so on. And all the people that are going down there, they've been normalized into it, and then they're also listening to these people who have been enabling them and normalizing it, are also saying, look at them, right-wing bad, right-wing bad, right-wing evil. We must get rid of them. People like Maxine Waters, the Democrats representative, saying you must not let Republicans have an easy way through things. If you see in a restaurant, you go and get them. You go and make a noise. All that.
I remember that.
All of that stuff for so many years, and you can tell, particularly during Trump's time. So the last what would be nearly 10 years now since be over 10 years now since he's been so prominent. You've had it going ramped up to the max. Sadly, it's not a surprise that this has happened, though obviously it is an absolute tragedy. It is not really a surprise when you look at the way that the whole way that the left has behaved, and particularly the left in power and in kind of authority, whether voted in or not. All of that stuff they've been doing has led to this point.
Yeah, I mean, I just think you've got to make it illegal again, because it's just the thin end of the wedge. If it's not illegal, then how are you going to keep it out of the public sphere? Because if you're allowed to do it, then you're going to have, like, I don't know, two gay men kissing in the street somewhere, and people are going to go, oh, that's gross, stop it, and they'll just say it's not against the law. And then so what are you going to do? You're on the back foot then.
It's funny because back in the day there were the warnings with the gay stuff, like, you allow this, next thing you're going to have the pedophiles coming out. Oh, that
Yeah.
was 100% true.
Yeah, it's the slippery slope is real. I genuinely think because the sexual energy is supposed to go towards the woman. And by going towards the woman, going towards the vagina, then you end up creating babies, or at least there is the potential of creating babies. If you're pointing the sexual energy towards another man, it's sterile sex. It's not going anywhere, and it's never going to go anywhere, and it's only going to get worse and worse and worse, and worse, because the energy is now flowing in the opposite direction, so to speak. And these people just end up doing more and more and more weird stuff. I mean, the more you look into it, have you heard about the rat? What they do with the rat?
What?
I don't want to know that.
Yeah, you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
So long as it's not a human doing something to a rat, then go on.
Yeah, it's go and look it up. Go and look what gay people do.
I'd rather not.
No, I mean,
I don't need that in my
I don't want it on my search history, mate. I really don't.
There's an entire subculture out there. Like, these people are really, they're really weird. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, people, I mean, part of the problem we have, I think, is just ordinary people are normal. And if you're normal, then you view the rest of the world as being normal, and you just don't expect like bad people to do bad things, or weird people to do weird things. But there are some crazy people out there.
Well, whoever's in charge of the stream, can you search in X and search something like how to destroy the West and find a list of, someone will have made a list and they'll have posted it. And we'll go through the list and find out how many things we can check off to see what they're actually doing right now to our societies. Because it's textbook.
Is this a channel? How to destroy the West?
No. Someone will post an image with a list on it or something. We'll be able to just go through it. There we go. Straight away.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Number 1, allow mass immigration. Number 2, call anyone a racist who opposes it. Number 3, ignore Islam and call anyone Islamophobic who doesn't. Number 4, educate your people to think white people are racist. Sit back and stir. I mean, yeah, he's not wrong.
And that's without talking about race, gender, all these things, sexuality, actually promoting homosexuality, transgenderism, pushing that onto your children so they get sterilized early. Then you've got the vaccines, which supposedly have done a lot of damage as well to our population. Mm-hmm. There's all these different things coming together at the same time. Mass immigration as well, which lowers the birth rate because people don't feel safe. The house prices go up, so people can't afford their own security, so they can't afford their families. They've made women especially, hate men. So having a relationship and keeping a relationship is even more difficult. It's like all these different layers to absolutely fuck society up. And it's all happening at the same time.
It's right as well. I mean, how often in the last few streams have I said that English women are the most stuck-up women on the planet, and you're better off finding a foreigner? Well,
yeah,
am I? I'm not wrong.
I don't think they're as bad as Americans, to be fair.
Well, yeah, I think this is a women thing in general at the moment, unless you go to like the third world.
It's because of
the women thing.
It's because they use malicious altruism, and it's really insidious. What they do is they play on your emotions and your empathy to allow you to do things that would ultimately be really harmful for your country. And women are especially sensitive to this because they're the most emotive, and they're the ones the most sensitive to empathy itself. You see, there's a difference between being empathetic and being sympathetic. Empathetic means that you put yourself in their shoes and you feel as though you're also the victim. So you'll do anything to help them. Whereas just showing sympathy is understanding what they're going through, but not necessarily putting yourself in those shoes. And women make that mistake constantly.
I do. I'll just say I did have a Greek girlfriend once, and she was so much more feminine than the English girls. I will say that. Like she had a general understanding that, like, as a woman, she should smile. I know that sounds really silly, but it just seems like English girls have been taught that they should be miserable and pouty and moody and confrontational and whatever. But Greek girls and Latino girls as well, they have like this natural. It's like, I don't know, their mum tells them to smile for men or something like that, or to be happy.
It's the flipping of the gender roles. They've made men in the West more feminine, and they've made women more masculine. it's just an inversion of what should be the norm.
Yeah.
And that's something you can see in culture all the time. I mean, you have a look at. Well, let's go for a film that's very very much in the now. The new Tron film, Tron Ares. Tron Ares was is the spawn of obviously the original, where it was one guy against the big bad who was a guy, with a guy as his helper, and then there was a female love interest of sorts, and then you have that continually kind of growing into the following on Tron aspects, where the women are getting more and more prominent in terms of how they do it. You can have a look at Star Wars. Star Wars was originally, again, main male protagonist with his male mentor and his male best friend, and then you had Princess Leia as the kind of the female friend, but didn't take, although she had a very clearly defined important role within the story, she wasn't taking up the kind of the masculine role so much within the actual film. And then you get the most recent Star Wars, where they've said, no, stuff that, we're not going to have a guy who's the male one, we're going to have a woman, and she's going to be able to do all the things and more, because she's just great.
Yeah.
The Mary Sue.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Mary Sue. Yeah, I remember meeting a Zuma girl once, and like she just started saying, "I've got this ambition, I've got that ambition too," and I just looked at her, and she just I just remember her like shrinking. It was like, no, I'm not interested in your fucking ambition.
The problem is we don't have that many examples for women to look to of a more conservatively acting woman. I mean, I'll go for another example. I'll do the Church of England. Within the Church of England, obviously there was a point at which women weren't ordained, but now they are, and they can be bishops now. If you have a look within the women that are ordained,
mostly lesbian.
Well, you do have some who are conservative evangelicals, so orthodoxly believing Christians, and they believe that it's okay to get married, so not to get married, okay to get ordained, and that's as far as they can go, because they believe that so long as they're still under male headship, they can still exercise an element of leadership, but ultimately they are under male authority. They're not a huge percentage within that of the Bible believing women, because most of them who are more conservative would be not ordained. But you then get to the women who are bishops, you have an even smaller number. And so the women that you see in positions of, just positions where you can actually see them and kind of look up to them, because they're positions of leadership, they tend to be women who are much more on the liberal side of things theologically. And we don't have a way of putting the conservatively minded women in a position where we can make people look up to them, because everyone's decided, right, women have got to be in the male roles, and so we'll just focus on the male roles and the women in the male roles.
It's a paradox, because a genuinely conservative woman won't be in the media. She'll be at home cooking dinner, and she'll be shy. I mean, shyness used to be understood that shyness is one of the greatest qualities of a feminine woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm not
hit the nail on the head there, though.
Yeah, I'm not against.
Where does a girl get the example of seeing a woman at home now?
Well, that's it. It's a paradox. It doesn't exist. You just don't. You shouldn't have any women in any positions of leadership. That's it. I mean, I'm not against all these conservative egos. Obviously, it's good for them to say the things that they're saying. But at the end of the day, these very politically charged girls that we see on the internet, I mean, they're not really very feminine. Not really. A genuinely feminine woman just wants to have babies.
What about our blonde pagan princess?
Well, I mean, like, she's all right. I mean, she's okay, but I mean, you know, like, okay, like,
okay,
you're young.
What are these standards?
Well, it's like, okay, you're young, you're beautiful, make a few videos, great, but then get married and have babies and disappear from the internet. That's the best thing for you.
But this is where we have that problem that society has been pushed down the both partners in a marriage must be working.
That is killing us.
And how long ago is it since you're able to get by with just one?
Yeah.
But at least
50 do you know, I saw a video on the internet. I wish I'd saved it, but somebody, they interviewed this young white lady. She's in America somewhere, and she just said, "Yeah, my husband, he's got a job, and I just look after the babies." And she seemed to be getting on okay. I mean, I think it's probably more possible than people imagine if you actually save your money and you don't waste it on bullshit. I think a lot of people just waste their money on shite, to be honest with you.
Well, if we were to go back to a single wage, I don't mean to be really gauche, but I'm genuine with what I mean by so it would really help female sex drives.
Well, yeah.
Because that's even women now that desire powerful men and men who out earn them. If women are the highest earning demographic in the country, then they've got no one to be attracted to, and that's just female sexuality. That constantly complaining about this.
Yeah. I genuinely, sorry, I'm talking a lot, but I genuinely feel sorry for the women because they I blame it all on the men. Sorry. I mean, we can sit here and bitch about the women till we're blue in the face, but at the end of the day, men build civilizations. It's our civilization. We control the sexual marketplace, not the ladies. And there are a lot of girls out there who are just, they can't find a boyfriend that's going to commit to them because they're all just faffing around. And most of the guys are just fucking stupid and their heads are full of shit. And so I think it's the men's fault. It's not the women's fault. If the men were more masculine, we wouldn't be having the problems that we're having. Women are just a reflection of the men of society.
And speaking of that, I found in the news of women's erotic fiction, which we spoke about. Apparently, China. That's going. Yeah. China have started arresting the women who write gay erotic fiction.
Wow.
I think they saw like, oh, we know where this is going. They looked at the West and thought, okay, we let them have the gay stuff, and then before we know it, they're going to be on to jacking off minotaurs. No.
Oh my god. Yeah.
If we were serious. If we were serious about solving this problem, what we'd need to do is incentivize families, and we'd need to change the tax structure so that the more children that you have, the less tax you pay. Maybe give them financial incentives that would go further than that to start it all off. You'd need to change the job market so that, again, you can actually have a job with just one person working and not two. Basically, get rid of slavery. Because it's there pretty much. If we have to work our entire lives and we still can't afford a house, and then we get, if we're lucky, 10 years at the end of that to just fuck around and just waste away until we're dead. That's pretty much just, it's indentured servitude, basically.
Yeah.
What's more is our generation, we're not even going to get the pensions. That's
no, we're not. Yeah,
by the time
we're not getting a pension. Yeah.
I've been reserved that for a few years, and I'm probably nearer my pension age than you guys are.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I've got like 30 years.
We argued this a few streams ago, and I basically said that any sort of, if you imagine the worst job you could think of, like for example, being like a McDonald's worker or a shelf stacker at Tesco's or anything, any job like that should be able to get you into a house and look after a family. Even a job like that should be able to do that. And that was our argument for, sort of reducing the population as well, because that make that goal a lot easier. But you forget about the sort of feminist sexual revolution of the 60s.
Yeah, it used to be called a family wage.
Yeah.
That was it. That's what you want. You want a family wage. And that's it. Then you have a stable civilization.
But it's not just about the family wage per se, because and if you have a look at things like, for example, the the living wage and the national wage and all that kind of stuff. Those have been increasing because of inflation. The family wage back when I was probably still primary school would have been what I'm earning now. What I'm earning now survives me as a single man in a one-bed flat. And so it's been the recognition of, and I'm not exactly badly paid in my job right now. Certainly better off than I was when I was working for churches. But it's the fact that stuff has become that much more expensive, and people have not been increasing the amount they pay people, which I think probably feeds in an element, at least, to what capitalism has now become. It's more kind of corporate cronyism than capitalism now, because people have been keeping all the money at the top in so many areas, rather than allowing it to be spread amongst the different ranks.
Are there any economist-minded people amongst the panel? One question I would like to ask anyone on the panel or anyone in the chat is, how close do you think we are to hyperinflation? Not the inflation we've had a few years ago. I'm talking Weimar Republic inflation.
Well, America's really close because the petrol dollar's falling to pieces. I mean, America exports its dollars all around the world because every country in the world is forced to buy oil with its dollars. But now, because of the war in Ukraine, countries are beginning to buy oil with currencies other than the dollar. So where's the dollar going to end up? It's going to end up in America. And it's a huge problem. So, I mean, I would say America is. I don't know if we are.
Well, I believe that the UK, France, and Germany will default on their debt at the same time. They'll end up going to the IMF, and they won't be able to bail us all out. And that's when you'll see the hyperinflation.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I keep my eyes on America. 32 trillion in debt. It's insane. They're actually buying back their own debt. They're kind of like not admitting it, but they sort of like, they do this special thing where they restructure the debt and then they buy it back. So it's completely off the wall what they're doing. And you can look at the revenue, like the increase in revenue for various different concepts. And Nvidia's the one. Nvidia's the big success story on the stock market, right? Because they're using their chips for AI. So apparently everybody that works for Nvidia is now like a millionaire. But they've gone up they've 10x the value of the company. But the revenue is only like doubled. So the company's worth 10 times what it was, but the money that's actually coming in is only twice as much. So it's a bubble. It's just it's inflation. They're just printing money. It's going into the stock market, and then it's just creating this. Everything's overvalued. The whole of America is completely overvalued, in my opinion, and it's got to crash, and it's incredibly terrifying.
The thing is, we usually link to America in some ways. You think about the 2008 crash. I mean, that was started by subprime Mexicans, buying houses, and well, it wasn't it? I mean, that's what they said. I mean, I don't know whether other forces were involved with that, but essentially, that's what started the dominoes falling. We're still. I mean, people don't realise we still haven't. We only just recovered just by the time COVID came around.
I don't think we ever actually recovered.
Well,
we haven't. Yeah.
If you want to introduce digital IDs and a digital currency to control the world in a global one world order, then you need to destroy their currencies and their cultures, and you need to dilute their population so that they have no identity as well. I honestly do think that this is all planned. There's just layer upon layer of corruption and targeted attacks. Like mass migration isn't a coincidence. It's obviously weaponized. There's all of these things that I think are weaponized against the West to destroy it. Now, whether they're going to destroy it permanently or they just want a permanent subclass of people that they can rule over, which I don't get anyway, because the fucking robots are here. They don't need us for that, unless they just want to reduce the population. I mean...
Yeah. They've been arguing, why do we need all these workers who are not workers? What do we need these people for? Because we're on the verge of a next revolution in industry.
Well, it's the old. I mean, the Greeks talked about it, didn't they? If you have a tyranny, you just invite a bunch of foreigners into your country, and then you make them fight against each other, and that's it. That's all that's going on. It's a story as old as time.
I mean, if we keep going down this, we'll just get blackpilled if we go down this, because all roads end in a terrible, terrible outcome. There's no good. There's no good outcome here.
I think you're right about the debt. I mean, I think it is planned. I mean, if you look at the French Revolution, there's a Scottish guy. His name was John Law, and he went to France in 1714 or something like this, and he managed to convince the King of France that a fiat currency would be a good idea, paper currency would be a good idea. And then, 80 years later, they have a revolution, and the whole of France burns to the ground because it's all bankrupt. So they've played this game before. What's going to happen when the debt bubble in America bursts? Well, they'll just come in and they'll say, well, we need a technocracy, essentially. They won't even call it communism because they know they've played that before. So they'll give it a new name, a technocracy run by AI. And the old currency has failed. So what we need is a CB, what do they call it? Central bank currency. We need one of them, and we'll manage the AI will manage the economy, and blah 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 blah. We need a social credit score and all the rest of it, and they'll just roll it out. Bush. That's it.
The problem with all of this is the people who are actually running things in the West are people that have basically decided that we will continue to be in a cycle of debt that we never get out of, and we're constantly making worse and worse. And so in our case, obviously, it's the civil service who have decided that if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because they think that continually being in debt isn't broke. But they'll continue with the process of spending so long as they are allowed to. And are not kicked out of power. And the same way, whoever the equivalent is in America, they're doing the same kind of thing. And if we were to be behaving according to effectively the rule of international law and to agreements that we are seemingly bound to, when we are bust, it is our creditors, the ones that have bought our debt, that we belong to, basically. And if I'm not wrong, I believe that means we'd be belonging to China. China has bought out a lot of Western debt.
Yeah, I mean, Henry Kissinger opened up China, and he's a technocrat, and they've installed all these technocratic ideas in China, like the social credit score and the no currency, and basically, I mean, it seems to me like they want the whole world to look like China. So it would make sense. Bankrupt America, it collapses, China sort of takes over, and then the Chinese form of government just gets rolled out across the world. I mean, we've already had it with the lockdowns. The Chinese were the first to do the lockdown, and everybody copied them.
And China's obviously... I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but China's also building an absolute massive embassy in the center of London. They're calling it a super embassy. Yeah. And that's just terrifying by itself, because China has a reputation of snatching people off the streets and dragging them into their embassies and their spaces where they basically just kidnap them and they're never seen again.
Isn't it also built on top of some key communication lines and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Underground tunnels and all sorts of things.
Yeah,
it's genuinely terrible. I read Solzhenitsyn's Gulag Archipelago, and one of the most terrifying stories in that book was he mentioned that in the Gulag system he met a French guy that just happened to be walking past the Soviet embassy, and they just grabbed him, dragged him in, and then before he knew it, he was in a flipping Gulag in Siberia. I mean, how terrifying is that, Yeah.
I mean, there's one thing with the Chinese, at least they don't have any real tolerance of Muslims. But I think that's just for China. I think with us,
I'm
They
not
don't-
sure
I
how
don't
much
think
of a
they care.
tolerance for anyone, though. Not even
it's
anyone
any
who's
religion.
not Han Chinese as well.
yeah,
If you're not Han Chinese, then you will be
Yeah.
looked down upon.
Yeah.
How many demographics are under China?
it's quite a lot, but it is like 85% Han Chinese or something. But that's
they-
just, I mean, it's just a huge country. That's the main
They've
thing.
crushed the Tibetans. I mean, they got
Yeah.
whacked.
And the Uyghurs.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Uyghurs. I tell you, there is one interesting. I heard that Tiananmen Square, actually, the riot started. It was
Yeah.
a race riot. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, but they were
Yeah.
introducing black students into the education system, and they were sleeping with the Chinese girls. And I don't know the details of what happened, but that is the thing that kicked off that entire riot.
Don't mention that in the BBC, does I?
No.
In answer to the ethnicities of China, it's apparently 91.11 Han Chinese, and then you've got Zhuang, 1.39, Uyghurs 0.84, Hui, Hui, however you pronounce that, 0.81, the Miao, yes, the Miao. There you go, furries. You've got an ethnicity you can go for. The Manchus, the Yi, the Tujia, Tibetans, Mongols, Buyei, and then other groups are 1.74. But
And
there's
that's
only
basically
one.
all Chinese, though.
Yes, but anyone who's not Han Chinese, they look down upon.
Yeah, they
so,
need
for
those
example,
guys for their organs.
yeah, amongst other things. But the Zhuang, for example, they're a Thai-speaking ethnic group in China. The Uyghurs, obviously, there's the Muslim element, and that's because they're a Turkic rather than Chinese ethnic group.
Their crackdown on them really began because, as always, they'd thought, well, we're Muslims, so we've got to be terrorists.
Well, I would argue that you probably only heard about them being cracked down upon because of it potentially being made slightly worse. My guess is that they were probably already cracked down upon like anyone else who's not Han Chinese anyway. But it's one of those things, particularly with the cry of Islamophobia being one that is more and more prevalent in society.
All right, guys. There's people in the chat that want us to talk about the protest. I mean, I don't. Is it a protest? I don't know. It's more like a march, right? It was very peaceful.
Yeah.
Everything went to plan. It wasn't really a protest. It was more just a coming together of people.
Yeah.
And Charlie Kirk, obviously. I mean, the Charlie Kirk thing. I'm so drained on talking about that right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we can go into the protest if you
Well,
want.
we can go. I've got this guy. Just in case you guys haven't seen it.
Well, before you
Sure.
I talked to 99.9% of Black people about this story, about what transpired. And it's horrible. I think we all agree on that. And they wanted me to give a message. And on behalf of 99.9% of Black people, I'm here to talk to the white ignorants out there and let y'all know we are deeply uncaring.
This is about the girl on the train.
Yeah.
That is correct. We don't care, bruh. I'm sorry. We don't give not an ounce of caring about what happened to this girl on the train.
Yeah. So there you go. There you go, guys. I mean, that's
The thing is,
before you came on the show, Dina Ban, I was just pointing out that obviously this girl got stabbed. It was the big story. The whole internet was angry about it. Donald Trump talked about it. All the big e-celebs were talking about it. Everybody was talking about black on white crime. Donald Trump came out and talked about bringing back the death penalty. And it seemed like there was this kind of like awakening white consciousness, which is just starting to appear. And then Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and now it all seems to have been forgotten. And now it's all about freedom of speech again. So yeah, but yeah, this is what this guy said. I mean, they don't care.
I mean, what was one of the, I mean, so many shocking things in that video was that she's surrounded by all these other Black people. They all see that. They look at her dying, and not one of them bothers to lift a finger.
Yeah.
Like,
Black people are going to be in a lot of trouble, especially in America, when white people stop trying to be nice and trying to be forgiving and trying to be understanding. Once they just go, fuck you guys, we've had enough, they'll understand just how badly they've messed up what was initially a lot of capital or goodwill that people had towards them because of some shit that some people did in the past. You know, we've been gaslit for generations now that black people are the eternal victims and the white people are the eternal aggressors. Once that's gone, once people really stop caring about that and start realizing that actually you guys are wankers, right? Yeah. Everything will change. They'll regret all of this. They'll regret it completely.
I think this is a big turning point, though. I mean, Donald Trump calling for the death penalty. That's big news.
A few states still have it.
Well, I've never seen Trump like rolling that out. You know, that's not really been like a major part of the MAGA movement, but he said it now. So
that's what I've called for in the UK as well. I've been calling for that for a while to bring back the death penalty. Some people don't want that, and I don't want it with the Labour government. Jesus Christ. No way. No, we need a... No, that's terrifying. We need a completely new system and a new government. But yes, we need to bring back the death penalty and start killing psychopaths.
Yeah, it's very popular.
I have to disagree on the death penalty.
Yeah, I'm going to be with you, Pastor, on this. Yeah, I think
Guildford 4 and Birmingham 6 are just two prime examples. If you have the death penalty, those guys would have been killed by the state, and yet we found out a number of years later that they were actually innocent and fitted up by a corrupt establishment.
The thing is, you can limit it to only times when we are 100% certain. Like you've got the video evidence and stuff, like this guy on the train.
We know 100% certain about the Guildford 4 and the Birmingham 6. They had signed confessions, which were forced out of them.
My issue with the death penalty is I wouldn't want to hand my enemies that kind of power, because if that could have give Tommy Robinson the death penalty, you think they wouldn't have used it?
Yeah, but why? What justification would they have?
Well,
and also,
he's not.
Wait. And also, if you put the death penalty in place, you need safeguards. You can't just say, okay, one judge or one group of people can decide you're going to die. You need actual physical proof, evidence, video evidence. Like, I think it should be reserved for the most heinous of crimes where you absolutely know for certain that they've done it. Yeah. Terrorists, that guy on the train that stabbed the Ukrainian girl, video evidence of him doing it, doesn't give a shit, kill him. There we go. Yeah. Simple. Job done.
There's no question about it. Axel Rudakabana needs to be execued. That's it. Otherwise, our country is finished. Our country is just an empty shell. It's a joke.
We just released that fucking terrorist who killed 52 people.
Yeah. What is that? We know it's him, right? And this is
to understand, there are some people out there, the only thing that they respect and understand is violence. They don't care. Yeah. They just don't care. I saw a video the other day. It was on Twitter. Some black lady and in America, and she just stabbed a mother and a child to death. And she's in the court, and the judge is talking, and she's standing there. And
she smiled.
She smiled. Yeah, you saw. Yeah, she's just smiling. This big, like, crazy African grin on her face. Like she thought she was going to get away with it for some reason. I mean, she didn't care.
Why wouldn't she think that though? Why,
because she's fucking stupid. Because she's probably got an IQ of like 75.
Well, I often think about what foreigners think about this country when they're sort of virtually invited in and given a 4-star hotel with full NHS benefits. What must they be thinking?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, would you fuck with China? No. Why? Because they'd kill you. Right?
I think
in a similar way, you should know that you can't fuck with you can't just go around stabbing people and do this, that, and the other. Otherwise, you're going to get executed. That's it.
It's like John. Go ahead.
I was going to say
it's like Johnny Somali in South Africa, South Korea. Sorry, he was in Japan making an arsehole of himself, got kicked out. He went to another country, made an arsehole of himself, got kicked out. Went to South Korea, made an arsehole of himself, and now he's locked up for 20 years or something. No one's doing that in South Korea. You're not getting those influencers going to South Korea now doing like crazy stuff because they know they're going to get locked up.
I think flogging needs to return as well.
Flogging, love it.
Like Singapore has flogging, public flogging still, and it's great. You know, you take these dumb IQ twats, like they don't understand anything, but we're going to get the cat o' nine tails out, rip your back open. They might understand that. And it's for everything in Singapore. Like there's this American teenager was on holiday there, thought he'd like do a bit of graffiti, and no, they caught him and they gave him a public lashing.
Good.
Yeah, a lot of these people just genuinely don't understand. I mean, I remember, like, oh god, there was that thing floating around the internet. What's his name from EastEnders? But he was talking to like two African rapists, and he was just like, "What did you think about
thing?" Yeah,
yeah. How did you feel about? How do you think the victims felt? And they, at a certain
didn't understand.
Yeah, they didn't get it. They didn't get the question.
Yeah, not the mental capacity.
They don't have the IQ level to put themselves in the shoes of the other person. It's quite fascinating, really.
And
also, there's something more sinister there, because we have to start also recognizing psychopathy within our culture as well. I think there's a big problem in Western civilization when it comes to not really there's been a complete lack of research into psychology. It's become like what's it called? Like a fake science. But it used to be a genuine field of science that people would really try and study. Sigmund Freud, people like this. Fair enough, it went off the rails a little bit, but trying, like, understanding that there's people out there that have no feelings. They don't feel anything. They can't associate any kind of pain or suffering with themselves when looking at other people. And that's why you get serial killers that the most they'll feel is like some kind of sexual gratification from doing it, but no sympathy, nothing like that. That's a real problem that we need to deal with as well. The psychos.
We used to have institutions. We used to lock them up for the public safety.
Yeah. In medieval culture, apparently they killed like 1% of the population, like every year.
Yeah,
that was every 100 years, I think.
Oh, every 100 years. I thought every year would be a bit much. Yeah, but anyway,
I think the Victorians. The Victorians quite ramped it up quite a lot. Like, if you're a little child, you steal something, well, we're going to hang you, Timmy.
I think we should colonize Africa again.
Oh, Brutus has been on about this.
God.
This is one of his things.
No, actually, in my defense, I'm not actually in favor of it. I'm just taking I'm taking the racial question to its ultimate conclusion, okay? Because the way I look at it is resources on this planet are limited, and if you want your population to grow, then you're going to have to take the resources. So when you come into conflict with another race, the question is, well, are you going to take them over and rule over them, or are you just going to push them out of the land and take their land from them? So it's really a case of, are we going to kill them all? Are we going to genocide them all? Or are we going to take it over? If we're going to take them over like we did last time, then you can't raise them up.
Yeah.
The only way you can fix the African solution, the African problem, is to bleach them, essentially. Okay, but I should restate, I'm not in favor of this. I'm just stating that's the ultimate conclusion to the problem if you don't want to just kill them all, basically.
To coin an AA phrase, it was a value-free analysis.
I'm just saying, because we did rule the world, we ruled Africa, it didn't work out. We tried
it did, but we had traitors that, like the Queen, for instance. Do you know what she did with Rhodesia? I mean, it was awful. She let that thing die. It was brutal. Like I remember that the Prime Minister of Rhodesia wrote to the Queen several times, begging her to change her mind and begging her to not do what she was doing to that country, because he knew that the blacks were just going to murder everyone, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, ultimately,
it wasn't the Queen's choice. I think if there's one true criticism we can make of the Queen, I think it's the fact that she did not want to use the power that she actually had.
Yeah, but she should have.
That's what I'm talking about.
She didn't want to go against Parliament because her fear is of the royal family losing their position by going against Parliament, and then Parliament saying, right, well, we're going to get rid of you then.
Yes, what's the point of her then? We can use this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had cousins in Rhodesia who they just lost everything. All taken from them by the Africans. And and it was like, one of the things I've noticed a lot less pushback on is telling people, like in South Africa, apartheid was a lot better for everyone involved. And you just can't deny that anymore, because it's just the state of these places.
And that's what I do. That's what I do. If we were to like take the entire continent this time, right?
Yeah.
Then it would be apartheid. They wouldn't be allowed to live with us, because they've proven time and time again. Like that image you've just scrolled past, if you go back up. Oh, that's an ugly fucking cunt as well. Like, the proof they can't live with us again and again and again, time after time and time. Like, I've lost all my patience when it comes to multiculturalism. I hate it. I just can't stand it. It is one of the worst things that's ever happened to the West, and will be one of the worst things that's ever happened to this country. Because if the let's go down all the way down the dark path. If the white race gets wiped out, then what the hell does that do for the rest of the world moving forward? Yeah. Will we just be stuck technologically in the same place forever?
No, we'll
that
regress.
Sounds kind of bad.
We'll regress, like especially Africa. I mean, imagine if the rest of the world just shut off Africa, they're going back to the Stone Age in a few generations.
Yeah.
Can I just say, if the white race was annihilated off the planet, and I'm talking about the rest of the people, fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, the Chinese
because you'd be dead at that point, Mercian.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's sort of like I like how you sort of add empathy for these people, don't know, and that showed humanity. But if eradicated all of us on the panel, everyone we knew, all our families, entire white races are gone, fuck them, leave them to it. If that's what they want.
We're going to Mars with Elon. Yeah,
but I mean, talking about the whole segregation thing, that they want to be segregated themselves. That they want their own apartheid. The only thing they've got against it is they want control of the apartheid. That's the only difference they want.
Well, they
can have it. Yeah, they can have the control. They can have obviously their little quarantined areas will be shit because they won't be able to manage it. And they'll have starvation and all the rest of it. But if they want the control, let them have it. I don't mind. We'll take the best parts of the country. We'll manage them properly. We'll manage the resources, and they can do what they want.
I mean, if you look at like old pictures of Salisbury and Rhodesia, the old days, like the blacks there, they look a lot better than what they do today. You can see them in like nice suits and stuff, nice clothes.
So did the whites as well.
I know, but there's this thing like they always act like, everything was so bad for the blacks then from the evil white colonizers. We were so damn good for them. We gave them so much and just no appreciation whatsoever.
Is it Jesse Peterson, that black guy in America? Is he the one that constantly says that it was better under Jim Crow?
Yeah.
Because basically under Jim Crow, blacks were encouraged to maintain their marriages. They were encouraged to go to school, like their own schools, but it was managed for them. Like everything was structured around them to be for them. And we had our things structured around us to be for us, and it worked. Yeah, there was a lot of like tension and stuff, but that's because I think people didn't understand it. And there was already a push to dismantle it as well by those in power or those behind the scenes that didn't want that to continue.
Yeah, like people talk about Martin Luther King, but like you said, there was the people there was already powers pushing for it. It wasn't him really that was doing that.
And it's not just blacks, by the way. I don't want to live with Muslims either. I just no thanks. No. I mean, absolutely no, thank you.
I mean, we've seen what living with them results in. And it's everywhere. It's sort of everywhere they go. It's not just us, right? It's all everywhere in Europe. We find out.
It's their religion. It's love jihad.
Same stuff
they do. Yeah. They've been doing it for 1,400 years. They're not going to stop.
Yeah.
And we're so stupid for thinking that we could manage that and bring it into our system and for it to be benign. It's
they still think that can bring it to heel. It amazes me. Everything we've seen even the last 25 years, even the last 25. Forget the rest of the history. You don't even need to go that far back. Recent history, everything we've seen in the last 25 years. How can you still think that?
Yeah.
That's a weird noise.
Yeah. Someone's complaining about the image. I'll try and change the image. It is a bit horrid, but I think it is iconic.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like a reverse KKK member in that.
You seen this guy in this fucking
Yeah.
in the like he turned it into a t-shirt. I don't know if you can see he's selling a t-shirt of this. Like, man, like
Wow.
Yeah. James Dellingpole saying that she's a crisis actor.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, all right,
I'm sick of people. Oh, fucking hell. These people coming out and saying shit. Like, they're doing this with the Charlie Kirk thing as well. Just saying, like, it's all a fucking setup. Like, Charlie Kirk's an actor. Like, what the fuck? How is he acting?
Yeah.
How could you... What are you talking about? Like, the video's fake. It's all set up. Like, the bodyguards are in on it. And it's like, oh, and now it's the Jews. And it's not the Jews. And it's someone else. It's like, fucking hell. Can you just, like, accept that there was a crazy person who shot Charlie Kirk, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Did you see who the shooter was? Because I saw the video where Charlie owned him. He was that mental guy with the megaphone, wasn't he? You've ever seen
Charlie
that?
had talked to him?
Yeah, Charlie Kirk had talked to him.
I hadn't seen that.
Do you want me, Bruce? Do you want me to try and find that video of him?
Yeah.
Sorry, just muting this. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
If you want, there's always one person, though, isn't there, that says you're wrong. It's this thing. It's a conspiracy. They're all actors, and it's just.
There probably is. I mean, some kind of conspiracy. Like, was this an Antifa? I heard that the gun was dropped off. Yeah. I've heard that he had a transgender boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever you want to call it. So
gay
there's,
guy.
Gay. Yeah. So there's some kind of conspiracy going on here. I mean, we're really going to have to see. Like Trump said, he's investigating George Soros. It's like, okay, I mean, that's a step. But what really needs to happen is he needs to classify Antifa as a terrorist organization, and he needs to shut them down. I mean, I remember Trump talking about this 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago and saying Antifa is a terrorist organization. Yeah. They've been pulling this shit for years. For years. I mean, they really just have to be shut down, and that's it. If they are connected to it. Even if they're not connected to it, I'd shut them down.
With the Charlie Kirk thing, okay, it could be Israel, it could be Mossad, it could be something like that. But I think what's more likely is a bunch of gay twinks got together who like dressing up as furries, and they were in a chat group, and they just started talking about killing Charlie Kirk, and then one of them went and did it. And that's how because like, you might not know this, but as soon as he murdered him, he went into Discord and started telling people where he'd left the gun so they could go pick it up and all this stuff. So. And there was loads of them before the murder that were tweeting that this is the day, it's going to happen now. There's going to be a massive thing that happens today. Charlie Kirk is going away. Like, loads of threats. Like, they were all in on it. They all knew about it, and they all communicated with each other afterwards as well.
Yeah, I suspect. I think there was definitely more people involved in this. And like that old guy who was the first one they picked up. Like, you got to have a look into him. Why is he going, shoot me?
Oh, the Jewish guy. Yeah. He was a Jew. Yeah.
It's like if I was at some event and I'm falsely arrested for, being as a suspected assassin, I'm not going to be going, shoot me. No, I'm going to be screaming my innocence. So what there's
which video am I looking at here?
Top one.
This
sorry,
one.
Yeah. So I didn't
20 minutes. So I don't know what exactly.
Yeah, no. Just skip to the guy with the microphone, megaphone, even.
This guy.
Oh, there.
This guy's supposed. You tell me, is that the killer?
Nah.
So people are saying that he's the killer.
Yes, people said he's the killer. Yeah.
Oh,
no. No, guys. They came out at first and said that they thought it was him, but then they've got the killer, and the guy's admitted to it, and he's told the police why he wanted to do it. So I mean, it's not like there's a mystery there. There is there is some weird shenanigans going on with that old guy, like I said, and that guy that was celebrating the one with the Jew through. That was a bit weird.
Have you seen his response? He's come out going, "Oh no, I was actually trying to distract the shooter because I'm a big Charlie Kirk fan." Bullshit. Bullshit.
tired of it. His soldiers being killed. His soldiers.
Oh, hang
He's
on.
full of
Here,
shit.
here it is. Hang on. Oh my god. Oh, we're missing someone. Did we lose somebody?
You've passed for I don't know.
Eh?
Okay.
Did we lose? Did we lose?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, man down.
Man down.
I'm sure he'll come back in if he can.
Yeah.
Oh, he's there. Oh, so fucking hell! So difficult. Did I kick you out by accident?
No, I left and rejoined because all of a sudden I couldn't hear any of you speaking. So.
Oh, okay.
It's a conspiracy theory. It was the Jews. They didn't want you to hear.
George then created a perf distraction that allowed the shooter. And yes, he's true. So anyway, there you go.
Yeah, that's weird.
So, I mean, a lot of people are saying that Charlie Kirk was going to turn. He started to talk about, obviously, everybody in America is talking about Israel now, and Charlie Kirk's been sitting on the fence. Obviously, he runs Turning Point. He let Tucker Carlson speak quite openly about Israel earlier on this year. Tucker Carlson gave a great speech at Turning Point UK. So some people are speculating that maybe Mossad whacked him, but who knows?
I mean, it's been getting harder to deny these things in America.
Yeah,
I was going to say
the Israel thing is coming out for sure.
There's so many conspiracy theories revolving around Israel that at least one or two have to be right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like the Epstein stuff. Okay, really? There was nothing there. Okay.
Yeah, the whole thing stinks.
Yeah, of course that was the other thing. We had Lord Mandelson. He's Epstein's best buddy.
Sorry, I was trying to find, because there's an important news story which we just have
and
not.
And that bitch about. There, Shabana Mahmood.
Oh, fucking hell! Yeah, something right. Hang on. Didn't Israel just drop a bomb on?
Yes,
Qatar.
Qatar, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't talk about. I don't know. It's just kind of got swept. I don't know. These people apparently Iran raised the black flag, which means they're going to war. So I don't know, but it hasn't kicked off. I don't know why not. But anyway, there's a bit of international news.
Why would they bomb Qatar?
To kill some Hamas guy. Yeah.
Okay, you're just trying to start shit, really, aren't you? But just
finish it.
I mean, well, this seems like just greater Israel, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, we need this guy on the show because I think he's got it figured out. Let's check this out.
Biscuit the other day, I suddenly thought, fuck this biscuit. I don't want a fourth and cream. Fuck you, you crunchy fucking cream-filled prick. Fuck off back to your biscuit tin. And then I thought, what am I doing? What have I become? Who do I think I am? Who the fuck am I looking at? Do I fucking want some? And I kicked the shit out of myself right there in the kitchen. Really gave me what for. And it all felt a bit better after that.
That's brilliant, but unfortunately, it's come from Charlie Brooker's screen wipe, and that was probably an insult towards us, really.
Oh god! All right. Anyway, so we'll just skip through some of these videos. This fucking guy, this is hilarious.
That's fine. You can. I need to give you a
just tell me why you're arresting me.
For talking.
For what? Sorry.
For talking.
Talking.
Talking. I got a slight stomach. All right.
You arrest me for talking.
For talking.
I don't.
What the fuck is this?
Honestly,
coercive behaviour. Pass me your phone, Ian.
Oh,
do you know, make us fear a police state? I don't know if it's as fearful as it might end up being.
Oh, fucking hilarious! All right, here's another vid. We'll go. Just do all the vids.
For the white man.
Hang on a minute. Face black
said
guy.
to me that if Jesus is black, heaven is a ghetto. Everywhere black people live is a damn ghetto. Why should I be yelling at the white man? Hell, if it wasn't for him, we'd all probably be dead from diseases and sickness. Or hell, we each other. Wasn't for the white man. The white man built America. You say the slave built America. Don't they cover that lie? I'll slap the taste out of your mouth. They ain't built nothing. Half the time, what you did build as a slave, the white man had to whoop your ass with a whoop to get you to do that little bit of work that you didn't do. Had to whoop your ass to get it done. Talking about we built America. You ain't built a damn thing. Don't own a damn thing. None of it. You had Harlem, you threw that away. No, thank God for the white man. Thank God. He's built America and some other safe places. Built airlines so you can ride around on. Built automobiles. Hell, y'all ain't got one nation in Africa have built a car. talking that damn talk. The only thing y'all can do is play basketball, run up and down the court like a bunch of double-jointed fools. Somebody said to me that if Jesus is black, heaven is a
base black
real life Uncle Ruckus. Yeah,
just put that guy in charge. Banksy, right? What are we going to say about Banksy? Obviously, total left winger. This picture came out. I don't know if it actually had the flag on it. Somebody painted. No, somebody's photoshopped that on there.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the image itself was real. Now it's been painted over. So is Banksy's obviously lifelong lefty? Is he getting fed up? Either left wing about the crack? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
the
really give a
question
shit.
is, who's
I don't
the
like
guy
him.
that's on the floor?
Yeah, well, that's
a good point. Yeah.
Because if the guy on the floor is of one particular ethnicity, then who will care about it? Whereas if they're of another, then there'll be a lot of care about it.
It's probably like the in support of Palestine action or something. That's what it's really meant to be.
Yeah, probably. Like anyway, but no, that's been in the news, so I thought I'd mention it. Good old Banksy. I remember when I was a teenager, a long time ago, I thought Banksy was cool, but there you go. You grow up, don't you?
When we get
to be
into
honest,
power,
it looks more powerful now. They've tried to scrub it off.
Yeah, it does. It's weird. It's the one Banksy thing that they've tried to get rid of. Yeah, when
was it a Palestine flag in the original? Was it really?
It was blank.
No, it's this whole St. George is from Palestine, which isn't true. He's from Cappadocia, which is modern day Turkey.
It's also worth pointing out that he was in that area at the time when it was Greek.
Right.
The Turks had got nowhere near there at that point because the Turks are an invasive culture in
species.
Just as an example, in Crusader Kings, if you go to the earliest starting point, there are no Turks in that area at all, and they come in. I think I'm right in saying it's about kind of 11 or 1200, and they're effectively invading because they're running away from the Mongols, who are starting to kick up a bit of a fuss in the east.
Yeah, they're basically very, very similar to the Mongols. They're a horse people. And we fought against. I've just been reading about some of their battles. They would fight in a how do you call it? A crescent formation. There was a very famous battle which led to the fall of the Byzantine Empire. But they fought in a crescent formation. So they have horses at the front on either side, and then one at the back. And our boys marched forward, and they just flanked us on both sides and crushed us. But essentially, they fought on horseback, just like the Mongols. Horses running around and shooting arrows at us while we just kind of like stood there and just got shot to pieces.
I have a very petty reason I don't like Turkey. They renamed Constantinople Istanbul, and Constantinople is such a lovely name, and Istanbul is such a shitty name. Such a petty reason, but I don't know. Even if you try to explain the historic reason for that, I just keep Constantinople. That's a beautiful name.
Mercian is pushing for the Mika movement. Make Istanbul Constantinople again.
Yeah,
we have to retake it.
Yeah.
Even my ex-Greek girlfriend wanted to retake Constantinople.
Oh, the Greeks really want it back.
Of course they do. Yeah.
Yeah, they turned Hagia Sophia into a mosque. I mean, that's not good. No.
Because she's still Greek, I'm assuming.
Sorry?
You said your ex-Greek girlfriend. I'm assuming it's your ex-girlfriend who's Greek, and it's not the fact she's no longer Greek.
You've confused. She's Greek, and she wants to retake.
You've Pastor wants to know if you put enough DNA in.
No, not quite. No.
I tell you what, the most gorgeous woman I ever saw was half Greek, half English. Absolute angel. Never seen anyone more attractive in all my life.
Yeah, dude. Once you go Latino, you don't go back. I mean, let's see what Trump has to say about Christianity, because this is quite a turning point.
And I created the first ever Department of Justice task force to eradicate anti-Christian bias.
I mean, that's fucking news, right? That's news.
And for those people that are a little bit naive or not well read, there is a tremendous anti-Christian bias. We don't hear about it. We don't think about it. You hear about anti-Semitic, but you don't hear about anti-Christian. Now, you have a strong anti-Christian bias, but we're ending that rapidly. I will tell you, it's a whole. We're in a much different world today than we were 1 year ago. This is like a different world.
Is it the right thing that you look a lot greyer in his hair there?
He does look a lot grey. He's getting old, yeah. But I mean, this is
Getting old.
huge
He's
news.
been
This is
old
great.
for years.
This is fantastic news.
Well, yes and no.
Yes and no?
Yes, yes, because if you're going to be living in a liberal world where everyone is equal, then you need to have these kind of things balancing out. No, in terms of the church, because if you have a look at the church's greatest times of growth, they're at times of persecution. Look at the church in China, for example, the amount of persecution that goes on there, and their numbers are skyrocketing.
That sounds like Christian accelerationism or something like that. I mean, I don't actually want to be persecuted. I mean, you've got a point, I suppose, but yeah, I don't know. Like, what are you trying to say? Are you against this?
Nobody wants to be persecuted. Nobody wants to have people having a go at them for any particular reason. You want to live in a society. Well, certainly when you've grown up in a Western culture, for all of us, we want to be able to just get on with everyone and not have any grief and just carry on with our lives. But if you're looking at it from a spreading of the Christian message, for example, then the Christian message is spread far more and far quicker when the church is suffering persecution. You can go all the way.
I don't know what to say about this, guys. Tharium, can you say something?
I wouldn't know.
Well, no, I don't know. I think you're overthinking it, mate. Like people are against Christianity, and that's bad. So let's push back against it. I mean, it seems quite like a simple win to me. Because who are and I'm not even a Christian, but the Muslims equate Christianity with Western civilization, and they hate us and they want to destroy us. Mm-hmm. And it really upsets me when they burn down church, especially when we've got old churches and they've been there for hundreds of years, and you see some bulldozer and it's knocking it down, turning it into a council flat or whatever. It's really quite upsetting to me.
I think in France they're like 2 a week are being burned down.
Yeah, the Muslims are burning down all the churches.
Okay.
This is absolutely horrendous, and this needs to stop. And Christians need to grow a pair of balls, and they need to start fighting. There is a sleeping giant. Excuse me. There is a sleeping giant of Christianity, and it needs to wake up. And we need to go on a crusade, and we need to recapture Constantinople, and we need to recapture Jerusalem, and we need to reconquer the entire Middle East. And then we need to take all the Mexicans, we're going to move them out of America, and then we're going to put them in the Middle East, right?
So they can build a wall there as well?
So they can, because Mexicans are tough and they can deal with the Muslims, basically. We're going to have mass, we're going to conquer the entire of the Middle East, and we will just fill it with Latino Christians. We'll say, go, it is a crusade. Go to the Holy Land. Go to Damascus. You're going to be
sending the cartels to deal with the mullahs.
Yes,
an interesting one.
Yes, that is exactly what we are going to do. That is my plan. I'm going to write to Donald Trump, and this is what's going to happen.
Well, talking the Muslim problem, I came up with a solution at a few streams. Well, I touched on a solution. I'll ask our two new panelists what they think of this. You touched upon this. What do you guys think about the idea of weaponizing the gypsies against the Muslims?
Yeah,
I think we should just encourage more incest.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're meaning in the Muslim culture.
Yes, specifically, yes. Let's just say, you know what, guys, you're doing a great job. Just keep going with the incest. In fact, you can do your sisters as well now.
Oh, wow.
And then we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, part of the reason why they are okay with marrying first cousins is because Muhammad did that, and Muhammad is held up as being the example for all time for men to follow, and so therefore, if Muhammad is who we're supposed to follow and live like, then we should all be marrying our cousins. Is effectively the mentality of it.
Okay, before you play this video, before you play this video, remember that this woman is in charge of immigration, national security, MI5, basically every important thing in this country.
By the way,
also,
somebody
also the Shamima Begum situation as well. So that goes beyond just immigration. It's about who gets there.
That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see. Let's see how that one plays out.
She's not actually, just to make a point, because I got muddled with this, but she's not actually our first Muslim Home Secretary, is she? Because we had, what's his face under the Tories?
That's Savage Javid. Yeah,
that's it.
Savage Javid.
Mr. And what was his response to the us becoming an ethnic minority in our own country? Was it
so what?
So what? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, right? What she's about to say is mental, right? It's absolutely mental, but it is an ideology, and this is how they think. But she's in charge of way too much for this kind of thinking.
Yeah, with two white guys flanking her, just looking concerned. I mean, it's just like, instead of telling her to shut up. Anyway, let's listen to it. I don't think I've even heard this yet, but let's see.
You know, the people that you see holding the English flag most of the time down my neck of the woods will be the EDL, and they are white and they are male and they're bad people, and they want to divide our communities from one another. You know, the people that you see.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, she's not part of our community. Lying cow. Anyway, I was thinking of the other video, the one where she says that Islam is her driving, the driving ideology or driving thing in her that affects everything that she thinks. Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
We saw that video of her being sworn in by another diversity member as well, didn't we? Sort of like how lost we are.
Yeah, on the Quran with Allah Akbar at the end. Yeah.
Well, we could segue while we're talking about. We could segue into
ID in future in order to one of the reasons to be to tackle migration.
Well, look, my long-term personal political view has always been in favour of ID cards. In fact, I supported the last Labour government's introduction of ID cards. The first bill I spoke on in Parliament was the ID cards bill, which the then Conservative Lib Dem coalition scrapped. So I have a long-standing position, which anybody who's familiar with my...
It wasn't in the manifesto, was that a mistake?
Well, I have a long-standing position of my own, which those who are familiar with my political track record will know that is something that I've always supported. And look, my other colleagues in government have started this conversation about how we might roll out more.
All right, that's enough.
Anyway, yeah. But we get the point.
I thought it was Nadine. I thought it was Nadine Dorris or whatever her name is. That was the one that pushed the digital IDs first, and she's been swallowed up by reform.
She was the Online Safety Act. That was her.
That was it. That was it.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, fuck. It's funny seeing reform are clearly going to do the ID cards as well. They're just dripping it in at the moment.
Oh yeah, didn't Nige? Wasn't there a tweet about that? He.
I think this was Richard Tice's girlfriend. Did a bit. I saw one from her.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, she said, "Oh, what's the problem with it?" or something like this. Yeah.
What's she called again? The Dubai cum bucket, or I forgot her full name. Something like that.
Yeah.
Isabel Oakeshott.
Oh, I've not played that.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Who is the daughter of a Lib Dem peer?
And a Fabian. Yeah, one of the other things I want to mention was
there it is.
Nigel's response to the Charlie Kirk stuff. What a fucking joke, man! Like he's on that with on the Talk TV thing, and he's going, well, the right wing say bad things as well. Just fuck off, man. Like,
yeah.
Why do you have to always try and hit right? Just fuck off.
Mad.
And he finishes it off by saying, it's a real wake-up call for all of us in public life to be more responsible with what we say. That's getting very close, in my mind, to saying, well, Charlie had it coming.
Well, there is a solution to all that, and it's on the screen right now.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, I guess just to do a hard segue into Nepal, because we haven't talked about it yet, but they've overthrown their Marxist government. This isn't the first revolutions do happen. I mean, it was only a couple of years ago that oh my god, just off the coast of India, what is it? Mine's going blank. Sri Lanka had their revolution. So, you know, it can happen, but of course these are homogeneous societies. And I mean, I have another picture which I've just where is it? Somebody pointed out, if you just scroll up, I think that they pointed out this is my new guy on Twitter. I'm following Lindy Man. He supports referendums like I do. But anyway, the median age of Nepal's population is 23.5 years. This is historically normal, and why you saw lots of rebellions in the past, from the French Revolution to Vietnam protests to the Arab Spring. The older society gets, the less rebellious. So we're too old. We're not going to have a revolution, basically.
Until the boomers die.
Yeah, or till we're outnumbered by young Muslims.
I was going to say all the police are like foreigners now, anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, if they keep going with this, all the police, the security, the army, like have you seen the video of David Cameron saying that he wants Muslim representation in every branch of government, in the army, in the navy, the air force?
I'm
like
not so,
leading them as well.
I'm not so worried about the army, because the military, especially the fighting roles, are still overwhelmingly white working class lads. They've had real trouble recruiting from the diversity. So, like when it comes down to it, the army's going to be on our side. I'm sure there'll be some high generals and MOD shit libs who will like be ordering them, open fire on us, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, but they've only got to mess that up once, you know. They've only got to, slip up on that once, and then it's over. I mean, this is the point that me and SJJ were making, like before the whole election. Like this, the Labour government is the most absolutely terrifying thing that's ever happened to our country, because they could just build an army. They could just arm 100,000 Muslims if they wanted to. I mean, they're already trying the hardest to put them in the police force. They've already got security guards around all of the asylum hotels. Why can't they just have 100,000 foreigners armed, rolling over us?
Well, I think they will try. I think they are
going to try. I mean, are they just going to give the country to reform in 2029?
It's possible, but I think their last thing of the regime will just be arming the diversity against us. It will fail,
and then the digital IDs will come in because people will be terrified.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think if they get to that point, then it's all on, and at which point we win. It'll be bloody, but
it's not guaranteed. Look. I mean, I remember 2020 and being terrified, thinking this is it, it's over, we're in lockdown, and it's all, and we got out of that one. So maybe it won't happen. Maybe we can get through it. I mean, for sure. But it is a possibility looming in the background. I don't know if you remember, Tharium, that video we played last year of that police officer, some black dude, and he's asking and he was just like, he was like, oh God, like he couldn't even fucking speak English, and the guy's like, they're putting people like this in the police force.
Yeah. One of the funny things about Nepal was that what really kicked it off was them banning social media, which is, of course, what Keir Starmer's really wants to do. And that's what just all of Gen Z there just went, nope, fuck this. Let's just, yeah.
So with Nepal, what actually happened was the youth were organizing to overthrow the government. Because they were sick of what was happening, and they've been trying to stop this for a long time, and they started to organize, and the government realized the threat, and they tried to shut down the social media, and obviously that just really, really enamored the government to the students, and that's basically the result. I mean, if you push people too far, and if they've warned you enough, and you still keep pushing, there's no other option but violent outcomes. I mean, that it's just human nature. You can't push people right to the brink and expect them to just willingly give everything up.
Well, this is it. I mean, we had 1 million Nepal managed to overthrow its government, and in the same week we had 1 million man march in England, in London.
Have we had
where according to the BBC it was just 40,000.
Yeah, but we all saw the pictures. I mean, it's at least 500,000.
Oh, it's over 1 million easy. I mean, it's massive. It's the most I've ever seen.
A confirmed number though, because there's been some suggestions of somewhere like 3 million as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Do you know, aside from trying to fudge the numbers thing, do you know what I actually really liked about that protest rally, or wherever you want to call it? You remember that scene in is it John Wick 2 where Winston gets the entire crowd to turn around and, you know, to show how much control he has over the world?
Yeah.
It's got that kind of vibe about it, and I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah. It was one of them, Trevor Phillips. I think I saw him saying one of the most disturbing things was that these are normal people. Yeah.
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 That's what I mean. Imagine that John Wick scenario. You all know the scene I'm talking about, where Winston basically.
They're all assassins, everyone.
Yeah, basically gets everyone to basically just I can't remember the scene exactly, but it's funny for someone who's seen the film so many times. He basically just gets it gets everyone to turn, stop what they're doing, and say, "Look, I control the world. Don't mess me about."
Mm-hmm.
And I for one, if there's one thing I like out of that rally, it's people sort of saying, you know, we have control.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I haven't seen Israel flags in the stuff I've seen of it, so that's good at least. Someone got a message.
I have. Sorry.
There's people in the chat saying that they don't know how big the number is because they can't estimate people.
I'm trying to find.
But the thing is, if you've ever been to a football game, you know approximately how big 30,000 people looks like, right? And then you just build it up from that. I think there's easily over 1 million.
Yeah. Yeah, the BBC they're just lying, saying it's under 100,000.
I'm trying to find. I'm sure Callum posted a picture because they had a drone and they showed it, but I can't find it. If anybody can just send me a picture on Twitter if anybody's got it.
I've not seen any overhead footage.
Just type in London.
Yeah,
and you'll pop up.
Right.
I've not seen any overhead footage of the stand up to racism.
Oh, I did. Oh yeah.
I've only seen street level stuff of that, claiming there's thousands. Were there? I don't know.
I mean, that's a lot. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And it goes all the way back. I don't know if he's going to show it, but it goes all the there we go. All the fucking way back there. There's a lot of people, dude. There's a lot of people. They all funneled them into this one street, by the way, which is just kind of look how far back it goes.
Right next to the counter protesters.
If you're watching Sargon's stream today, he talks about how the opposition protesters were completely surrounded. There were so many people.
Yeah.
And he said their hope was that we'd get 200,000 out. Obviously, smashed that.
So that's a million man march. I mean, I'm just saying, like, in case MI5 are listening, I believe in peace and love, but I'm just saying, compare that to what happened in Nepal. Do you know what I mean?
And in terms of comparisons as well, worth also because there's an image that's been doing the rounds on Twitter, certainly today, of comparing the number of arrests and various other criminal things going on.
Yeah.
Comparing the Notting Hill Carnival.
Oh God!
I was just thinking about that.
Some of the other things to this, and if you think about how many people actually turn up to the march yesterday compared to Notting Hill and various other things.
I mean, it was 9, wasn't it? 9 arrests out of 1 million.
Someone has suggested it's gone up to something like 25, but even then,
out of 1 million, that's damn near perfect.
But if you want to put that in perspective, I mean, how many people didn't turn up to that rally? It's probably like for every one person who went to the rally, 10 people didn't, at least, maybe more.
One thing it's also been really good seeing is just in general, like our side, has been getting a lot more coverage. Like Sargon, like he's Asmongold is the biggest streamer out there. He's covered Sargon a bunch, and just our message sort of is spreading a lot. Elon Musk is, of course, he was phoned into this.
Yeah.
I mean, can we all just comment on this because over the years there have been so many doomers saying marches are no good, rallies are no good, they don't achieve anything. I mean, I personally think this is great. I mean, look, I'm not a huge fan of it because I'm not a fan of Tommy Robinson, and as I said earlier in the stream, like this entire march is about free speech. When really when we're talking about free speech, it's like we're missing the actual point, because why are people complaining about free speech? We want to talk about free speech because we want the freedom to talk about mass immigration, and we want the freedom to talk about Muslims raping schoolgirls and etc., etc., etc. So I'd rather have a march like this, which was an anti-immigration march, instead of a free speech march. And of course, Tommy Robinson loves Israel, and Tommy Robinson himself many times over the years has said he's pro-immigration. So I don't really like the guy, but excuse me, nonetheless, this is great. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. And for me, the cup is half full instead of half empty.
For a change, yeah.
Yeah, like,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the people who like blackpill about this stuff, they're expecting like them to just go marching on Parliament, take it over. That obviously isn't. I mean, that's not even the plan. But like you say, it's good. It's a good moral victory for us. And
part of the I've talked about this before. I mean, Baz is on side, but we still need to get Middle England on side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could argue maybe we're the first people in Middle England to. I'm more working class than middle class, but I have middle class leanings in many ways.
I'm in Scotland, so I'm definitely not Middle England.
What was that? What was that Ronnie Barker joke about Scotland? I used to think I was working class, so I went to Scotland. Now I think I'm middle class.
Yeah.
No, so Oswald in the chat says no one can deny it's impressive, but what next? Well, yeah, but I mean,
it's building energy.
The cup is half full. I mean, I've never been to one of these things because I'm not inspired by any of the speakers. I mean, my major complaint about the thing would be that nobody knows how to speak anymore, right? That we just do not have the orators. We do not have an Enoch Powell. Like I saw like 2 minutes of what's his name? Yes, Ant Middleton speak, and it's just like, England, and it's just like, well, I'm sorry, but you're just not intellectually. I'm sorry to be a snob, but you're just not intellectually stimulating me. Like it's not interesting. Western civilization was built on great orators. This goes all the way back to the Roman Empire. You look at the old presidents of America. I remember funny enough, when one president of America came out and he gave his speech, he stood there in the rain for an hour, and then he froze. He got pneumonia and he died like 4 months later. But nonetheless, like it was expected that if you were a leader of a great country, you would be able to stand up and you would be able to speak and you would be able to engage the audience and you would be interesting and you would quote historical ideas and philosophical ideas and perhaps ideas from the Bible or what have you, and people would listen and they'd go, wow, that's interesting, and you'd reach their minds up out of the mud into something larger than themselves. But our current crop of speakers are awful. There's nobody that I want to listen to. Am I inspired to go and listen to Katie Hopkins talk in her fucking miniskirt when she's like 70 years old? Like I'm not inspired by these people. If we want to save our country, and I've said this point many times before, we need to bring back the culture of the speaking tour. Okay, I'm not capable of doing it because I'm not. But somebody great like Sargon or Peter Dale or one of these people, they should do a speaking tour of England. And go up
he
and down
did
the
that
country.
when he was going for the UKIP European Parliament.
Well, he did something, but this is the kind of thing I'm just saying, I'm putting this out there on the internet in case anybody's listening. I would pay money. I would be very happy, in fact, to pay money to go and listen to Sargon speak for an hour. Just stand in front of an audience, speak, and then maybe questions afterwards. And I would enjoy that very much. And we need to bring back this culture because the speakers that they have these things. I'm sorry to be a snob, but it's just fucking shite.
Well, Dino, you posted that video of that school lad in Nepal giving that speech. That was good.
Oh, that guy, yeah. Oh, where is that? Oh,
he's like the balls in that lad. That's what we need.
It's. I used to do things like that when I first started the channel. I would always end the video in some kind of speech, and I'd put some music to it, and it would be quite powerful. But the reason I stopped doing that on my videos in particular is because it gets repetitive pretty quickly. I think it would be great, like you said, Brutus, to do it in public, in front of a crowd. And once you get into this, like there's a way of breathing, and you can see this lad struggle a couple of times because you have to get the breathing right. You have to be able to, it's almost like singing when you make this kind of speech. If you've got a good singing voice, you'll be able to project your voice at the right moments to make it powerful, to get that crescendo building. You know, if there is an actual technique to being able to speak like this guy does.
Yeah, there's an absolute. Yeah, it takes practice. I mean, Bowden was our last great orator, but he went up and down the country speaking for the BNP, and so I think he just practiced the same speech over and over and over and over again. So he just got comfortable and he got used to it, and then he just he went up. But I mean, let's have a look at this because I mean it's kind of funny. But let's have a look. Oh shit! Sorry.
Stand here with a dream. Today I stand here with the dream of building a new Nepal, with a fire of hope and passion burning within me. But my heart is heavy because this dream seems to be slipping away. Rise and shines, futures of this upcoming imperial empire. I, Oscar Raut, the head boy of this everlasting imperial institute, Holy Well English Secondary School, welcomes you with open arms to our 24th annual program. I put myself before you this moment to shed light within your consciousness by piercing the dark nimbus that circles above you. I am present here today to immortalize a monumental change in the course of history. Nepal, our mother, this country gave us birth, nurtured us. But what did it ask in return? Just our honesty, our hard work, our contribution. But what are we doing? We are bounded by the chains of unemployment, fleeing abroad in search of opportunities. We are trapped by the selfish games of political parties. Corruption has woven a web that is extinguishing the light of our futures. Youth, rise! We are the torch bearers of change. If you do not raise our voices, who will? If you do not raise our voices, who will? If you do not build this nation, who will? We are the fire that will burn away the darkness. We are the storm that will sweep away injustice and bring prosperity.
Well, there you go. I mean,
there's no hand gestures there.
I mean, no ums, no ahs, no buts, no brain farts, as they call it. Obviously speaking with a great deal of passion. I mean, we can laugh because it's humorous, obviously a Nepali speaking the English language, but nonetheless, he gave this speech and afterwards there was a revolution and they tore down the government, right?
Yeah. I mean, give this lad another 10 years. It's like grow up and mature. He could be something. Yeah. And I mean, imagine if we had Nigel.
Fire that will burn away the darkness. I mean, that is a fucking great line. Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine it Nigel Farage could never give a speech like this.
Yeah.
That's because Nigel hasn't swallowed enough thesauruses. This guy was an amazing selection of words in there.
Yeah.
Well, he was young. He's passionate, but I mean, just the point I'm making is like that. This is what we need. I mean, we all sat there and listened to it for like I don't know how long I played it, a minute and a half, and it was invigorating. It was like, yes, I want to listen to that. Right? I did not feel the same way watching Ant Middleton. I'm sorry, but I just didn't feel the same way watching Ant Middleton at the Tommy rally. Watching him, it was like he walked on the stage and he's like, "Yeah, right, lads, yeah, come on." And it's like, okay, I mean, it's all right, you know, but it doesn't. There's no.
I haven't heard him speak. Play the video. I haven't heard that. I haven't once ever heard him speak. I have no idea what he sounds like.
And Middleton. Well, why are you getting that video up? I'm going to ask you a question. That speech or the speech for Independence Day?
Oh, this one.
What is the Independence Day?
You know the 1996 film Independence Day? where the
We will
president
not go
makes-
quietly into the night.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Bill Pullman.
Yeah, maybe we should all study that speech, because that was quite a stirring speech.
While we're waiting for the video, just a thought here. We've been talking about the idea of needing to have someone who is going to be a good orator to go out and rally people to a cause. Is it possible that we could be saying that things like YouTube, for example, have effectively stifled that, because rather than going out and seeking an audience by going out into the community and talking about something, we've got so many people able to just talk on the internet, and that's as far as it goes. Like someone made a comment a little bit earlier about the march yesterday being something that just it allows the political stress to be alleviated by people gathering together, and
That's academic Asians' take, isn't it?
So if that is the case, could we also make the case that people speaking on the internet is part of the reason why we no longer have the great orators in public life?
For me personally, to answer your question, for me personally, the reason I do 1 hour long videos is sort of as a practice for that kind of thing. Personally, I'm inspired by Jonathan Bowden because he did nice. I'm not even that much. To be honest with you, going back and looking at Bowden, a lot of it is word salad, and I don't, subscribe to his Nazi opinions anymore. But nonetheless, he gave a 1 hour speech. It was entertaining. You switch it on, you listen to it for an hour, you get something out of it. He spoke on a subject, and it was spontaneous, and so on and so forth. That's what I attempt to do with my channel. And the idea being that I am in my own humble way attempting to kind of like bring back that idea of the speech. But of course, if you were to do it in front of an audience, it would be a different kettle of fish, wouldn't it?
I've never really understood these protests that happen in London. I mean, I can kind of get why they're doing it, but in my idea of a protest is you go there and you don't ask for permission. You don't apply to the police for special zones in which you can protest. You go to a specified area and you don't leave that area until you get what you want. I mean, otherwise, what's the point? It's basically just all for show. You've went there, you've done your little thing, and you're pissed off back home. The energy's gone now. You need to start demanding things. Like we're doing this protest. We're not going to leave until we get, I don't know, recognition of free speech or a new English constitution or something like this, or the dissolution of parliament, whatever it is. And you don't leave. That's it. You make a commitment. We just don't see anything like that. We get nowhere near that kind of.
Well, I agree. I'm in favor of it. I mean, it's too vague, isn't it? It's like, freedom of speech, bit of a complaint, and it's just like, no. But I mean, I try and look at it, I try and look at it in terms of cup half full. I mean, at least the people, the will of the people is there. They summoned the people, and the people arrived. We are like lions that have been led by sheep. But anyway, let me show you. Like, I don't know. Here we go. Just compare this to the Nepali guy, right?
Wow. The energy, the British pride is absolutely off the scale. And when it comes to the backbone of this country, I'm looking at it right now. Woo! For those who don't know me,
it's more like a pop concert, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like, when the next big hit's going to come out.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it, he's strolling up and down, right? Which, again, very pop concert. You're walking up and down the stage. People are watching move,
He's not really giving a speech either. He's just winging it.
Now, I walk through London on multiple occasions. And what I see in London, I see British culture, but I don't feel it. I haven't felt it for years. However, today, walking past Big Ben, looking at the flags, looking at you lot, I felt that British pride, British culture at the very forefront because of you lot.
It feels more like a
It's because of us, British patriots, that I felt British culture come alive today in London than I felt in a very, very long time. something we must not let the establishment eradicate. Our British culture, we should be proud of it, and it is right in front of me. It's us, it's you.
At the moment, he's just a hype man.
What is British culture? What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is British culture? I'm so sick of hearing this. What does that even mean? What is that?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's no arms, there's no ups, there's no bottom. I mean, it is very low IQ,
Contextually,
isn't it?
British culture, in terms of what he's talking about, is probably just seeing majority white people waving British flags, because that's all you can really see in a march like that.
I mean, like what you're saying, like what I put it down to is is the king spirit, is what some people have, where they just can just draw people into them.
Yeah.
You know, like some people, like Ant doesn't have it. The Nepalese lad, he much more had it. There's just something about some people that can just draw people to them and make them just flock to do anything. Like, I think, I mean, Napoleon probably had it more than anyone else.
Sharkman has got
Well, Churchill had it for sure. You know, like just something noble, something transcendent, something like you listen to the person speak, and it is historical. It is above history. It is important. It is the voice of the people. Yeah, he doesn't have it. I got more inspired listening to the Nepali boy talking about fucking Nepal than I did listening to fucking Ant Middleton talking about England. I mean, what's going on there?
Yeah.
He didn't say England. He just said he said Britain 9,000 times.
Yeah.
Look at Sharpman's comments and the list that he gives, obviously not including Ant Middleton. Walpole, Pitt, Addington, Wellington, Disraeli, Gladstone, Salisbury, Lloyd George, Churchill, Thatcher. And if you go back to the Gladstone-Disraeli era, when Gladstone was beaten out of being the Prime Minister by Disraeli, he went effectively into the political wilderness for a while, hardly did anything. But then when he had a cause to fight for, he then went out and he started speaking in town squares and things and getting people to listen to him. That's the kind of thing that we don't have anymore.
This is it. And then just to add, this. We are live. I can't even believe it. Ant Middleton. This is on this is posted September 13th. We are live at Ant. A new form of political funding is underway, and it comes down to the power of the crypto community to shake up the establishment. Bush, get in on the ground floor, guys. Roll up, get your Ant coin. This is it. Yeah, it's just come on, mate. Like absolutely. I said it. Fuck off of your crypto scam. Like, come on.
Doesn't Farage have one as well, or Reform? Don't they have a coin or something? I'm pretty sure they've been talking about crypto.
Probably.
Was it NFTs or something like that?
They're talking about Bitcoin becoming some, more official or something.
You can tell this is Yusuf's little thing, because Yusuf is always talking. He's always pretending. Yeah, he's always pretending.
Goldman
he's always
Sachs bum boy.
But he's always pretending he's a tech entrepreneur. That's how he introduces himself always. Bullshit. You didn't do anything in tech. You were sales in Goldman Sachs. Then you had a party app for rich people. But he called himself. Yeah, and no doubt prostitutes too. With that, he's saying, "Oh, we flew out models to these parties. What were those models for exactly?" Yeah.
Hang on. Do you mean a Muslim was pimping out white girls?
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah. Wow.
But
I've never seen that before. Jeez.
But he likes to call himself a tech entrepreneur because he thinks that sounds cool. It's bullshit. And you can tell crypto is one of these things he thinks, oh, this is what tech bros do. Yeah, crypto. Fuck off, dickhead.
People want something idealistic. That's what they want. Something that they can connect with on an emotional level. Not the fucking ant coin. Not the fucking, hey, England. Well, yeah, fucking lads. Yeah, we're all in London. Yeah, it's like fucking banging. I mean, I don't want to be like anti-working class. I mean, I like a bit of that football hooligan vibe, but you want something noble.
This is what we were talking about the other week. Like that's energy is good, but it needs a king figure to direct it into something worthwhile.
Do you know, as we were talking earlier, and I said, well, we need more Middle England. Then I started to think, do we need Middle England, or do we need the aristocracy, that working class aristocracy companionship?
Yeah.
And then the middle class will probably follow by then. We need to get the aristocrats on board, really.
Yeah.
You know what's worrying about Reform UK, and something that I really want people to understand, is that Mohammed Yusuf, he was removed from the chairman, right, as the chairman, and he was thrown into like this new department called Doge.
Yeah.
And now he's been moved again, and he's been put in charge of all of reform policy. So you're not voting for Nigel Farage, you are voting for Mohammed Yusuf. And when he gets elected, he stated that he wants to create an American-style, what do they call it over there?
Cabinet. Yeah.
Cabinet. Right. So in other words, your MPs that you'll be voting for, they won't be running anything. It will just be the people picked by Mohammed. That is terrifying.
Yeah.
So how I first found you was Mercy linked me to you. And at the time I was talking with these reform cultists who are they've swallowed it all. And I had this big problem with Mohammed Yusuf as well. And I could see, clearly this is his party. He's the one running things now. It's not even Nigel. It's him, right? And Mercy linked a video about one of your videos about him. And one of the things I always said, he's got these creepy dead eyes. And in it, you even said, "Oh, these aren't the eyes of a psychopath." And I was like, "Yes, this guy gets it. He gets it. He gets it completely." Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's a happy day for us in those bleak days of being shouted at.
Yeah. And it's wild because like I've heard like them people claim, oh, reform, the media are against reform. They're fucking everywhere. Yeah, I can't not see him.
Reform owns GB News. GB News is owned by Saudis and Reform.
No. GB News is owned by the Marshall Winston's father. That guy from the band.
Winston Marshall.
He's got it. Winston Marshall, that's it. Yeah, he's owned by 50% owned by his father, 50% owned by the Saudis, and Nigel Farage has got shares in it as well, but I don't know how much. I think if he's got share, okay, so it's not 50-50, but I know that Nigel Farage I think has 8%, and then some other people have a few percent. Richard Tice I think has got 1% or something, and then the rest of it is owned by the Marshalls and the Saudis. And also you've got Talk TV, which is owned by Rupert Murdoch, along with Sky News. Basically, every channel that Nigel Farage goes on, it's owned by his allies and his colleagues.
Yeah.
He never goes on any TV show, any program where he's not comfortable with the questions that he's going to get asked.
Yep.
Well, what turned me against Nigel Farage, ironically, was the Steve Edgerton interview, which was the GB News, original.
Mm-hmm.
And so, obviously, that Steve Edgerton's a bit of a wild card for GB News. There are a lot of presenters. I mean, Neil Oliver as well.
I like Steve Edgerton. I think he's great.
Oh yeah. Well, and I like Neil Oliver as well. I dip into a lot of Neil Oliver stuff. He's a good orator. Maybe he should be. Maybe he should be doing the orators. He's always been a very famous orator, even when he did that map show back for the BBC.
I thought he was a bit slow and boring, to be honest with you. I could never listen.
I love a good Neil Oliver.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah. He's good in it. History program, he's fine because history is kind of boring anyway. But yeah, when you want to excite a crowd, that's not the guy I'd turn to.
No.
I mean, I definitely agree with Merson. He is a really good TV presenter. I think if the programs they did on the history of Ireland and the history of Wales had been anywhere near as good in terms of delivery as he was with the History of Scotland series, then those would have been absolutely amazing as well. As it is, they chose some random Irish guy and a Welsh pedo for the people to host those shows. So they weren't up to much at all. But in terms of political oratory, I'm not sure. I mean, certainly he can go on a rant. He can definitely go on a rant. I'm not sure he's necessarily someone for political.
I suppose he's too soothing. I thought,
there's no. I don't think there's passion in him. There's no fire. He's too. Yeah.
There's fire there. He's just so soft around the edges, and maybe that's. You know,
I think he's definitely got feeling. He definitely seems to care. I mean, he wrote a book about. I mean, he knows English history. He cares about the country. I think that's where it all stems from. You have to have a love of history. If you don't have a love of history, you don't really love the country.
Well, I don't love history very much. I find it kind of boring and difficult to remember.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Why don't you do our own Duke then?
How old are you, Dino Bain?
41.
Oh,
Struggle to
really?
remember.
And it's still not come on you, the history phase. Oh, okay.
No. Like it's so broad and so vast that it's difficult to really get a grounding in all the key events that lead up to what's happening now. Like it's fine to cherry pick things, but everything's interconnected anyway. Most of the history that we know is absolute made up bullshit. It's just I don't mind it. It's just something I'm not particularly passionate about. I like recent history more than anything else. Like ancient history, the further you go back, the more it's just a load of shite. You can't really believe anything.
Right.
Just destroyed Brutus.
Oh.
No, I mean, I don't really agree. I just don't want to. I don't know what to say about that. I mean,
You can disagree with me. I don't mind.
No, I mean, I just feel like, okay. I mean, my first disagreement would just be that I think history is important because there has to be something. I think Sargon talked about this recently, like mythos before logos. There has to be a story in your mind. Like when I look at the story of the English, I think of Hengist and Horsa. I think of us coming from Denmark. I think of us. I think of Alfred the Great fighting the Vikings. I think of William the Bastard coming over with his Jews, the tax collectors, and pushing us into tyranny. And I think about the long, slow, struggle against that. And that's what I think of when I think about the English people. And I feel that if people don't know that story, and a lot of people don't, and I work with people. In fact, just the other day in the factory, I remember two, they're not that young, they're in their 30s, but two English guys, and they're banging on about, the latest Marvel superhero movie's coming out. And I was just looking at them thinking, are you fucking retarded? It's just absolute shite and it's drivel. But I do think that if people don't have history in their hearts, if they don't have the story of our people in their hearts, then their heart is going to be filled with shit. It's going to be.
So when I said recent history, I was thinking written history. Like that, when you go back far enough, you really are just grasping at straws to understand what really happened. Like, for example, the Egyptians and the pyramids. No one knows how the fuck they were built or when they were built. So it's like, is it Göbekli Tepe or something that they found that place?
Tepe,
that's the one. Yeah, and it was buried intentionally. But it's just all of these different, like, no one really knows what. This might not even be the first civilization. We might have. As humans, waned, grew and waned, and maybe there was a disaster. Like we just don't know what happened, and that's what I don't mind the ancient history, but it's more like theories and stories. Recent history is like written history, and especially with the English, it's going back 1,100 years or something.
Yeah,
and,
it's like we have to. Who's tapping?
Is that you?
So that is me. Yeah,
that is absolutely horrendous.
Like you often see a lot of doomers. Like I can't stand the people who say England's finished and stuff. When you've got to remember, at one time England was nothing but a swamp in Wessex, and we came back from that. So it's never over.
It's dark days, but what doesn't kill you makes us stronger. I mean, if we manage to bounce back on this, we will be fucking invincible. I tell you that.
So
we've never had to face this before.
That's what I understand to be British culture or British tradition or Britishness. That indomitable spirit that never gives up.
Yeah.
There's do you know? Like some of the old Saxon poetry, I really like some of that stuff. There's a line from the Battle of Maldon, which I have in my as my Twitter banner. It's the mind must be harder, heart keener, spirit must be greater as our strength diminishes. That's just strong. That is. This was said in like, yeah, so their old poem is a battle that the Saxons are losing against the Viking invaders. And, but it's like, no, we will not just, at their independence, they think we're not going to go quietly.
Can I just play this guy? Because we've got him in the background just to.
Zionists not welcome. England for the English, Britain for the British.
Fucking bang on, mate. Fucking bang on. There you go. England for the English, Britain for the British. I used to say that a lot on my channel, but yeah, there you go. I mean, I would rather listen to that guy than Ant Middleton. I'll tell you that.
Well, you just did.
I just did. Yeah, there you go.
And it was so much better for you.
Yeah.
Isn't that Avi from Rebel News?
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know. Is it?
Avi Yemeni,
Yeah.
Who's a mate of Tommy's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Tommy's a Zionist. So what's going on there then? Is that like a break in the rank?
Isn't
but Keir Starmer's a Zionist as well.
Yeah.
And his parents are Jewish.
I'm not sure it's a break in the ranks because Avi's not agreeing with him. He's being told to go by this guy.
That's correct.
Avi's probably just doing his reporting for Rebel News there, particularly as he's mates with Tommy. But he's normally, he's an Aussie who's Jewish. He's normally kind of doing Aussie or Europe stuff.
Hang on,
are you guys ethno-nationalists or?
Well, I am.
Nationalists or
not entirely. Not entirely. I mean,
I'm not absolute about it.
Yeah, I would say I'm not, but I can certainly see that there are certain groupings of people that are not conducive to the public good.
Yeah, I like Connor Tomlinson's appraisal of the situation. We can't not be the majority in this country, basically.
I'll be willing to accept the moderate position of like we need to be majority white, but ultimately I'd like them all to leave. To be honest with you.
Yeah, it's just it's like it's important. Like people go, not everyone's going to go, sure, but it's still like you want that sort of direction of travel. You want
Let's put it this way: it's unacceptable that London is 33% ethnic English.
Yeah.
It's traitorous.
It's like
history's gonna like Brutus. You like history, right? How do you think history will look back on this period of time when our current establishment have allowed mass immigration to occur on such a scale that it's diluted our country to the point where we are projected to be minorities in our own country? Now, if we manage to pull this back, how do you think history would look back on this period of time?
Well, I mean, I think this is our darkest hour. I've said it many times before.
Yeah.
I think Rotherham is the worst thing that has ever happened to this country, and that includes consideration of the Second World War, the First World War, the English Civil War, the War of the Roses, and all the rest of it. I mean, we have allowed Muslim men to come into our country and to rape our women, and we've stood by and watched it happen. It is utterly deplorable. It is quite literally the worst thing that could happen to us. It is stomach-churningly bad, and I think this is the darkest point in our history, and it's very, very bad. And I think we need to bounce back from it. And my whole issue. Dino, I mean, in case you don't know, I mean, I've been fighting for this for years, but my entire fighting point is that we need an English ethno-nationalism. I was part of the alt-right. I used to do a live stream with Sven Longshanks, who's now in jail, funny enough, for hate speech. I used to have my videos posted on the Daily Stormer, of all things, but I got fed up with the neo-Nazism because a lot of these people are very, very anti-English. And somewhere along the line,
how does that work?
Well, somewhere along the line, the penny dropped, and I just came to realize that there's a very strong sentiment amongst 99% of the ethno-nationalists in England of they love the white race, but they kind of they're willing to apologize for Dresden. They want to apologize for Dresden, and they want to apologize for winning the Second World War, and they want to apologize for fighting against Adolf Hitler and so on and so forth. And it transforms into a very, very kind of like anti-English sentiment. So it's like they're pro-white but anti-English. And I got sick and fed up with it. So my entire belief, the thing that I keep trying to push again and again and again, is that we need an English ethno-nationalism, not a Germanic ethno-nationalism, not a worship of Adolf Hitler, but we need an English ethno-nationalism for the English people, which celebrates our people as a race, which celebrates our domination and our conquering of the world, and which isn't willing to like apologize to the Germans for winning the Second World War. I think it's poison. I think the whole neo-Nazi thing is absolute poison. I think it's like AIDS. I think that, if a person, how AIDS works, you get sick and the AIDS virus will destroy your immune system and stop you from repelling the illness. In a similar way, our country's been invaded by foreigners, and the natural inclination of the English people is to cast out the foreigners and to rally behind the English flag and to rally behind English history. But instead of doing that, we've got a whole bunch of neo-Nazis sitting on the sitting on the internet saying, "Oh, I'm sorry for Dresden. Oh, I'm sorry for the British Empire. Oh, I apologize for being English." No, fuck off. I'm absolutely sick to the fucking back teeth of apologizing for anything. The Mongolians are not apologizing for anything. The Muslims are not apologizing for anything. Even the Russians aren't apologizing for Stalin. I am not going to apologize for Churchill or Bomber Harris or Dresden or anything. Fuck Adolf Hitler. Fuck the Germans. They shouldn't have started the fucking war. If Adolf Hitler hadn't have invaded fucking Austria, that war would never have happened. The entire fucking dissident right is filled with Jews. Mike Enoch is a Jew. We've, by the way, who worked for the Daily Stormer, the world's #1 neo-Nazi website. Weave was arrested by the FBI back in God knows when, 2012 or whatever, for some hacker violation. He came out of prison and he said, "I'm going to cover the internet in swastikas in order to destroy white nationalism." And then he goes and works for the Daily Stormer and promotes psychotic neo-Nazism. Why? Because the Jews know that if you promote neo-Nazism, it will destroy ethno-nationalism, because the English people will never, ever, ever, in a million fucking years, rally behind Adolf Hitler. They're not going to do it. So we need an English ethno-nationalism. We need to reject the 14 words that was invented by David Lane, an American neo-Nazi. We need our own ethno-nationalism. We need to reject Adolf Hitler, stop apologizing for Dresden, and we need to rally behind the flag. And then we can win. And then we can save Canada. Then we can save Australia. Then we can save New Zealand. Then we can even save America itself, because the English race is the dominant white ethnicity on this planet. There's over 200 million of us in this world. 200 million of us. And these fools on the internet want to rally behind Adolf Hitler and Germany. It's utterly retarded. So, I mean, there's my little rant for you, Dino. That is the way I feel about it.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a link. You can, one sec. So I made this song a while ago, but when I put it on YouTube, they really didn't like it. They gave me a permanent strike on my old channel, which is why I had to make a new channel, the second one. So if you want to click on the Rumble link,
right,
and have a little look at that.
Hang on, give me a second. Let me close that. Plus,
I haven't seen this for ages, so I forgot if it's good or not.
Okay, how do I get it on full screen? I don't know. Here we go. Oh, it's banging.
Hey, you there. Yes, you. Pay attention. Put down your phone. This ain't no TikTok mention. I've got some hard truths that you need to hear about the future of this land we hold dear. In the land the free, the brave and bold. A silent invasion, a story untold. The West is changing, the future's bleak. White genocide, the truth we speak. The numbers don't lie, it's fucking clear. White Brits fading year after year, replaced by foreigners, a demographic hell. England's becoming a multicultural shell. It's the great replacement, the end of the white. Diversity worship while our future's shy. Our nation fucking disgrace. The great replacement rats in our face. White rebellion, white rebellion, white rebellion. London's lost minority rule. White Brits now strangers in a city cruel. Mosques and burqas, a sight to dread. Is this our future, just a nightmare instead? Politicians lie, the media's a whore. Diversity celebrated while our culture's torn. Our birthright stolen, our heritage raped. The price of progress, our identity erased. White rebellion, white rebellion, white rebellion. White rebellion. From London to Berlin, Paris to Rome, the West is under siege, our people alone. Will we rise and fight or just bend and break? It's the great replacement, for fuck's sake. Stand up, speak out before it's too late, or face extinction, the white man's fate.
Banging.
So, yeah, so I like that was ages ago. So that's pretty much what I feel.
Fair enough.
But when it comes to ethno-nationalism and stuff like that, I do believe that I think I want England to be like 95, 98% white. And yes, we can have foreigners come over if they are the best and brightest and they actually like give a meaningful contribution. And I also don't think that we should ban, white guys from marrying people outside of the race. That kind of shit is weird. Let people be with who they want. If they want to go to Thailand and get a wife and bring them back, let them do it. As long as they're contributing to society and stuff like this.
On that point, can I ask you a question? What do you feel about the Ali immigration policy?
What's that?
Right. Okay. This is something I unironically support. It's sometimes called the Callum immigration policy because Callum came to the same thing. So in the Ali G film, right? Is that you, Youth Pastor, again?
That's just something I'm throwing in the bin.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, in the Ali G film, right? one of his policies is to bring in all the fit women.
Well, we do need genetic diversity, and our women are a bit fucking ugly on the international stage. But no one goes, "Oh, I really like English women."
There are some hot women. I've said this for a while. Our women are too stuck up, and I think they need a dose of reality.
Well, they're too fat as well.
Well, I argue that's too much Americanism. There's too much American culture in Britain at the minute. I can't stand it. And I've got nothing against our American brethren. I'm a fan of their work, but we shouldn't be importing American politics. Like a lot of the reasons that
or culture.
Yeah, a lot of the reasons that they use against us for immigration come straight out. Although the British mouths, they're American words, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like we've always been a multicultural nation.
Sure.
What was some of the? Yeah, I mean that's such an American idea as well. And some of the others, like all the arguments for mass immigration are American words.
Yeah.
Trying to think of all the examples, like, oh, we're not a Christian nation. That's another one. We're not a Christian nation, but we're supposed to be.
Strength.
Yeah.
Keir Starmer's response to the march. Do you see that? He was saying, "We will never let, we'll never let our flag stands for diversity." No, it doesn't. Fuck off.
Interesting thing to note: this whole thing of we've always been a diverse nation, all of that. You only have to go back to 1981 to 1991 to see just how few people were coming in. I mean, this is based on Wikipedia stats, so these could quite easily have been massaged anyway. But between 1981 and 1991, net migration was 5,000.
Yeah.
5,000.
Yeah, it's like our sort of goal, like we get back to 95, 98% native. That's in living memory. This isn't something that's, you know, like we've always been. This is living memory. This happened in our lifetimes. It can be changed in our lifetimes.
Okay, I just want to play this video just to drive home, because I did my little rant there, just to really drive home the point I'm trying to make. This is a video that came out in 2019. I don't know. This guy used to be pretty famous. His name's Culture Thug. But anyway, just check this out.
Yeah, I think personally that if Germany falls, that Europe's lost, because you know everybody who study history has known that you know Germany has always been the backbone of Europe, and the situation over there right now is it's more than worrisome. It's a precarious situation. They can't even you know have a dissenting opinion without going to jail. It's like I don't know how they're going to push back and fight this infiltration that they're up against right now, man. You know, like England, for example, I think England's 50, maybe 20 years from now, that's going to be an Islamic country. You know, with the way things are going.
Honestly,
they still want to keep 44.
Not to jump on like the Anglo hater train, but it'd probably be better off fucking just became Muslim. Goddamn, Britain has fucked up so much in Europe. This Britain has fucked up so much in Europe. They're on the wrong side of every war. They've gone out of their way to destroy Europe. They're disgusting. Yeah, but then I don't mean that for British individuals as themselves, but they can't deny what their country has done. And even with their imperialism, they opened up a lot of the white world to the brown world through their imperialism, and then through letting it fail. And then not only letting it fail, going on a suicidal war against Europe, and at the same time letting all their colonies fail because of that. It's yeah, they've been on the wrong side of so much. They're a part of so much evil. I've always said like England is like, or the English are the Jews of Europe essentially, and it's but you know that's not against any individual British person, but they have to account for what
fucking
their
sounds like it,
and their arrogance has created, and they've been in bed with the Jews since Cromwell and before. So it's
Americans.
Yeah, I don't know. They've been a part of so much bad. It's hard to have empathy for them when you see what they did to the Germans. You see what they did to the Italians.
Fucking Dresden is dead. I've read Hellstorm in its entirety. Like I've never read a book that I actually made me scream motherfucker, and it took me like an extra couple months to read it because it's just too much to take psychologically.
Yeah,
emotionally. Like those you're right, man. It's like, you know, a lot of us, you know, whites, we have to judge on the individual. It's like, all right, well, I mean, you judge on the individual till you end up in a black neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at the group.
Yeah.
You know? I'm fucking real.
All right, so a bunch of traders.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, this is why I got fed up with neo-Nazism, basically, because I was part of the white nationalist movement, and that's one example of many examples of white people shitting on the English race and shitting on the British race, and I am fucking sick to the back teeth of it.
Well, I mean,
I don't think the English have been the problem, though. We haven't really been in control of this country for quite a while.
Yeah, exactly. Coming from Americans, that's what I mean. Like, you're the fuckers pushing all this shit.
He needs to take APAC out of his arsehole before he can start criticizing us.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the Americans have destroyed this world, in my opinion. Like when the British Empire ruled the world, everything was fine. Everything was okay. White people were like 25 or 35% of the world's population. We didn't have all this gay bullshit, all this transgender bullshit. People used to dress properly, and we had a beautiful culture and a beautiful civilization. And then, unfortunately, the Second World War happened because some idiot decided to invade Austria, and then America took over, and they had a sexual revolution in the 60s and pushed that on everybody. And now you have American neo-Nazis sitting on the internet trying to blame it on Churchill. It's like, well, excuse me.
Well, the funny thing is, he's blaming that on us. He said there that we dismantled the empire and then let the third world into white countries, but it wasn't. It was the the Americans that dismantled the British Empire. If they didn't do that, we'd still have it, and we'd still have these borders being protected.
Exactly. And earlier on, you were speaking about Rhodesia. I mean, whose fault was that? Well, it was America.
It was America, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were betrayed. Yeah.
Yeah. And Americans wonder why we. Well, I mean, the whole AI thing, because AI is very against America these days, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was just going to make the point that I haven't watched AA in a long time, but so many e-celebs in this country, and I've seen AA do this. I mean, maybe he's turned against them. I mean, I've seen so many English e-celebs being very, very concerned about getting their American donations on their channels. And
what's an e-celeb?
Whatever, some guy who's on YouTube who's got a bunch of followers, and they want to get the super chat, and they want to get the donation money from America. And America, the problem with the Americans is that it's a Masonic nation. They had a revolution against us a long time ago, and if you talk to any American, you chip a little bit under the armor. They've got a little chip on their shoulder. They're a little bit like, oh, we won the war against the Redcoats. We beat the British. They've got like a little bit of daddy issues there, and unlike the Canadians or the Australians or the New Zealanders, our other colonies who will happily recognize us as the homeland, the Americans have got issues. And once this gets mixed with neo-Nazism, it kind of gets transformed into this weird anti-Englishness. And so you have all these neo-Nazis sitting on the internet or in America, and they are infecting our people, our quote-unquote e-celebs, here in England, because our e-celebs here in England want the American donations.
Well, I don't know much about that. It sounds bad.
Well, Bruce, should I try and get an American on for next week? I feel like we attack America a lot.
Rightfully so.
No, I care about. I have a love-hate relationship with them. They are our colony. We created America. It's like our bastard child or our teenage child. They are big. They are powerful. They've taken over the world. As far as I feel about it, our empire is gone. We're not going to get it back. As far as I feel about it, England is in retirement now. Okay, that's it. It's over. America wants to rule the world. We should let them. But they do have daddy issues, and they until they reconcile this. Until they recognize that they are an English colony, and until they can look back into their own history, look back into the English race and pass us into Hengist and Horsa, back into Denmark, back into Odin itself, until they can recognize all of this, they're just going to be a nation of an idea, of the Constitution. And you can see Alex Jones, the solution to the New World Order is 1776. It's all about the Constitution. It's all about a nation of ideals and ideas. It's a civic nationalist nation. Unless they acknowledge that we the people means we the English people. They have to do this. Otherwise, they will always be lost at sea.
Well, the Americans have had a trick played on them. And when we set up the colonies, they had a really strong attachment to Britain. That was severed with the War for Independence. And then since then, they've been bereft of history. They've been like they've had no anchor to tie them to their country. And what's further exacerbated that is this: when they had certain amounts of immigration into their country, they then were told the lie that they are a nation of immigrants. And that's, I think, the most pernicious thing that they could have done to America, because that was the beginning of the end, in my eyes. While it was majority white with a few black slaves, it was a good, strong country, but they've took their history from them. They've detached them from their home country. They've maybe even went further and made them slightly hate or despise or have some kind of issues with the home country as well. And they've took away their identity by saying that it's now a nation of immigrants and anyone can be American.
Yeah,
it's funny
because they're separated from their ancestors. I mean,
Yeah.
this is why, like earlier on, I was talking about the importance of history and comparing it to Marvel superheroes movies, because I feel like ultimately, if you are a serious people, you should be able to trace your history all the way back to some kind of mythological origin. Like the Chinese trace it back to the Yellow Emperor, the Indians, they've all got their gods and goddesses. Various different nations in the world. You have to trace it back to something that is transcendent and above this world and lost in a legend, and then you can know who you are, and you're kind of like stepping above history in a way. The Americans can't do that. They trace their history back to 1776 and a constitution, which means they are a nation of ideas.
Yeah.
And if you move to America and you follow the Constitution, then that's it. You're an American.
And it's always funny seeing them. They're always the tired old line of, "Oh, we kicked the ass of the British in 1776."
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you think was fighting? It was English people on both sides. There was no American people. You're not a thing. You're English.
And the dirty French.
Yeah. One group had to go to the French. Bad, very bad.
Well, they were funded by the French.
Yeah.
And then look how they stabbed them in the back straight away after when Louis XIV needed help. The Americans were like, "Nah, fuck you."
Yeah.
It's just an awful betrayal.
I assume that was before the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that came later. Yeah. But they let Louis XIV. I think it was the 14th. They let him go down, didn't they? Benjamin Franklin was like, "Nah, mate, sorry. I know you helped us like with our revolution, but we're not going to help you." I know you bankrupted your country, right, to help us fight our revolution, but fuck you, mate. Yeah, it's over.
See, just proves that in an Anglo, don't trust the French.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a revolutionary nation. Their entire ideology, their historical mythos before logos. Their myth is a myth of revolution. That's what it is. It's deeply embedded in their nature, and now it's become mixed with cultural Marxism, and it's poisoning the entire world.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But rather American than China, we'll say that.
Well, I think we should rescue it. I mean, the Roman Empire was rescued many times. I think we should rescue it. But my opinion is that the English people have to get off our knees. We have to have an English ethno-nationalism. We have to do it in England first. Then we'll get Canada. Then we'll get Australia. Then we'll get New Zealand on our side. And then we can turn to the Americans and we can say to them, "Look, guys, let's
colonize Africa.
You're English. There are 200 million of us in this world. We still dominate this world. The Anglosphere still dominates this world. Like, let's get our fucking shit together." That's what needs to happen.
My favourite thing about the English is the EU still speaking English. It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it is the default language of the world. Even though there's more Chinese speakers, as a secondary language, there must be more people speaking English.
It's the most widely spoken in the world by far, because everyone learns it.
Yeah, I hate it when they throw that statistic about, but there's actually more Chinese speakers. Yeah, as a first language, maybe.
Yeah.
Don't mean shit.
Yeah.
More people can speak English.
Yeah, I think English speaking is like 3 billion or something. Probably more now. So yeah, it's most of the world. You can go anywhere in the world, you'll find English speakers.
Yeah, that's the beauty about this country. Although we have suffered for learning other languages. Not a big rush for that. Can you imagine me in secondary school trying to learn French?
Yeah,
my accent.
In fact,
I was terrible. Oh God! Did you? Are you all old enough to remember ripping yarns?
Yep.
Yeah,
No.
well, it'd be a bit like that. We lost Dino Bane. Hopefully, be back.
Yeah.
So I just lost my my thread a little on the loss of Dino Bane.
Well, we're the greatest expression of European culture, in my opinion. Like, people want to talk about the white race. Who conquered the world? It was us.
Yep.
It was the British. It was the British Empire. The British Empire was the greatest expression of white military dominance over the world. That's it. End of story. So if you're an ethno-nationalist celebrating the white race and you want to celebrate fucking Germany, then you're a retard. What empire did the Germans build? It's just dumb.
One that we beat.
It's just dumb. It's poison.
I think Spengler, I think, said how like the English mind.
Are you gone, Spengler?
So
sorry, Ghostbusters.
The German. I'm not sure what his. Anyway, but he said like the Anglo mind is poor at military. What? Or like just because he's just a German supremacist, he thought we were just a bunch of stupid barbarians, and it's like, okay, who conquered the world and who didn't? Yeah,
the Nazis said very good things about us.
Yeah, they feared us. They thought we were the scariest people to fight against.
Yeah,
apparently they weren't wrong.
Yeah.
The whole thing about they do this whole thing like, oh, at least we're not speaking Germany, and I wish the Second World War hasn't happened. The thing is, like, it's kind of like a false. They end up offering you a false choice. Oh, would you rather be conquered by Pakistan or Germany? Wouldn't the country be a better place if the Germans had won the Second World War? And it's like, well, if you put a gun to my head, then I'd say yeah. But the real, it's a false choice. It's like you go to a secondhand car salesman. He says, "Do you want the red car or the blue car?" Well, the answer is, I don't want either. The best solution to the problem is if the war never happened in the first place. And the fact of the matter is, the war would never have happened if Germany had not have invaded Austria and broken the Treaty of Versailles. Even if they had have invaded Austria, they got away with it because Neville Chamberlain went to Hitler. And he said, "Mate, we don't want a war. Please just stop invading countries. You can keep Austria. You can keep the Sudetenland. Just stop." And Hitler said, "Yeah, all right." And Chamberlain came back. He said, "Peace in our time." Everybody was happy. If Hitler had just kept Austria and stopped invading countries and allowed things to settle, the war would not have progressed. But he didn't. Next, it's after the Sudetenland, it's Prague, and then it's Poland, and then it's Denmark, and then it's Norway, and then it's France. And all the way along the line, you've got a bunch of fucking retarded neo-Nazis on the internet saying, "Oh, it's not Hitler's fault." Well, who the fuck invaded all of these countries? Who
drugs are a hell of a thing. They'll make you do crazy stuff.
So like what did Churchill put a gun against Hitler's head and like force him to invade all these countries? What are you talking about? Who started the fight? Because once you let loose the dogs of war, everything goes to shit. Everything goes crazy. Like you cannot play with this shit. 20 years later, 20 years after the First World War, Germany just decides to start fucking invading countries in the middle of Europe. I mean, how did you think that was going to end up, Hitler? You fucking moron. If you want to think about an alternative history, the real great alternative history to imagine would be a history in which Hitler never invaded anybody. He could have been the dictator of Germany for 20, 30, 40 years. Nobody would have disturbed him. Nobody cared about Mussolini. Nobody cared about Franco. Franco was the dictator of Spain until the 1970s. Nobody gave a shit. He could have ruled that country with National Socialism for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Nobody would have cared, but he didn't. He started invading countries. He started a war that nobody wanted. He fucking burned Europe to the ground. And you've got an entire generation of retards sitting on Twitter thinking that he's our hero. Yeah. And it's dumb.
I think mostly they just don't like Jews.
Well, I don't like Jews either, but the fucking reflex, like knee-jerk reaction of like Jews bad, therefore Hitler good is dumb.
Well,
Sorry.
Have you heard that, that Hitler had a Jewish grandfather? Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he had a Jewish doctor, he had a Jewish driver, right?
Yeah.
There was also that little girl that he was fond of that was Jewish as well. There was a story like he was really fond of this small little girl that he met at one of his marches, and then just took her with him, and it was super weird. Don't get me wrong, but then they found out that she was Jewish, so he just had to get rid of her. And it wasn't that he wanted to. It was that the pressure placed on him to actually do that because of all the rhetoric that he'd built up. They could. Like once, it's like what you just said, Brutus. Once you started something, you said the dogs of war, but once you start like a hatred in people, once you started something, once you've lit the match, it's almost impossible to put the genie back in the bottle.
And if he hadn't started that, we could have been allies against the Soviet Union. But
yeah, I mean the Soviet Union would have had to got through Poland and Romania before it ever got to Germany.
And General Patton, he wanted to go straight for Russia after the war ended, right? He said we need to keep going.
Yeah, Churchill wanted to nuke them, like right afterwards.
That's pretty based.
Yeah.
Churchill once they'd taken Italy, Churchill wanted to go into the Balkans and go up through Eastern Europe, and in that way he would have saved Poland and the whole of Eastern Europe from Soviet Union domination. It was Roosevelt that said no. It was Roosevelt that gave the entire wealth of America to the Soviet Union for free,
too surprised.
whilst bankrupting us. It was Roosevelt that created the Soviet Union. I mean, they created it twice. Firstly, after the Russian Revolution, the Americans, capitalists, rebuilt the Soviet Union, and then secondly, in the middle of the Second World War, when Hitler had them on their knees, they just gave them all this wealth and all this for free, no strings attached. Roosevelt had all of the cards in that war. Churchill needed him, and Stalin needed him. Roosevelt didn't need anybody. America didn't need anybody. They had all the wealth. They had all the resources. If they had demanded from Stalin, if they'd have said, right, okay, we'll help you in this war effort, but we need to liberate Poland and these other countries that you've conquered, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, Stalin would have been forced to accept. But he didn't demand any of this. America created the Soviet Union. This is an undeniable historical fact. Roosevelt was a terrible leader.
I mean, there was plenty of communists in the American government at that time. Yeah. So
the entire mythos of America destroying the Soviet Union. I mean, okay, capitalism won in the end. The Soviet Union collapsed. Fine, but the Americans fucking created the Soviet Union.
All right, guys, I'm pretty tired, so I'm gonna have to get going.
Yeah. Thanks.
Mate. No, thank you for coming. I very much enjoyed that. I'm sorry that you've been feeling ill, and thank you for coming on the show.
Also, really well done on your channel. You're just smashing it. Like at a time when I see a lot of people complaining about the algorithm and stuff, you're just powering through. You're doing really well on that.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'll just keep releasing more videos.
Yeah,
one of them's gonna go and do well eventually. But I do get videos that just for no reason at all just don't get seen.
Yeah,
and they're usually good ones. Like usually the best ones as well. I put like a lot of work into. Anyway, but that's just me crowing about shit. Yeah, cheers, guys. If you want me back on the show, then just hit me up, and I'll be happy to come back on.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, we're here every Sunday. The idea behind the show is it's just pub chat, and we just chill out and rant about shit every Sunday, and we blow off steam. That's it. So you're welcome. You can come on whenever you want, mate.
All right. Cheers, guys.
All right. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Sharkman was asking about Hitler's grandfather. So his grandmother was a cleaner or something for this Jewish banker, wasn't she? I think. And then she gets pregnant and she quits that. But the Jewish guy she was working for continues to pay her for the next 15 years or something with this child. It's like, okay, why is the Jewish guy paying this woman if it's not his child?
So I don't know what to make of the JQ. I've always tried to stay clear of it.
Yeah, it's for me. I'm the same, but it's gotten harder to ignore. More recently.
Well, people keep saying so. I just don't know. For the moment, I don't care. Maybe that's a luxury belief. I don't know. I just, because like I can see people like Andrew Gold, I can see people like Gadsad, and I'm like, really?
I mean, within the Jews, there's their own factions and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's like who knows, like who's pulling what strings and where and stuff, and yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, it's difficult to put people in a block like I'll sort of say all Muslims, but it wouldn't necessarily be all Arabs. I mean,
no.
The only reason I say all Muslims is because it commands them to in their own text.
Mm-hmm.
If they're an ex-Muslim and happen to be Arab, I won't have a problem with them.
Plus, we know, like, it's like, oh, but so and so isn't. Like, you can come up with exceptions to stereotypes and stuff. It doesn't mean that stereotype isn't true. Exceptions don't disprove anything. Like, there'll be plenty of decent Jewish people out there. But yeah.
I just want to make that clear, because I don't want to be. I don't want to be caught up in all that, because for the moment, at least, it doesn't seem that relevant to me. At least not in this country. I'm not. And listen to my accent.
Yeah.
When I'm walking down the high street, I'm not worried about Ashkenazi Jews or whoever. I don't. They're
Like,
not on my radar.
Yeah, like AA's thing is, he doesn't like the anti-Islam stuff because he thinks, well, it's like the Jews are the ones sending them. It's like, well, maybe, but even if that's true, like you still have to worry about the Islam punching you in the face, right? You can't just ignore that because you think there's some shadowy things behind the scenes.
Well, it's kind of like, let's assume that's true for a second. It's kind of like someone with a rocket launcher. Are you worried about the guy or the rocket coming towards you?
Exactly.
I don't know how else to explain it to you.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? What are we talking about?
We're just talking about my sort of, I don't want to say dismissal of the JQ, but I kind of want to avoid the whole JQ, and I'm talking about why I'm more concerned about Islam than Jewish people.
Oh right, yeah. I mean,
the more pressing imminent danger to us. Yeah.
Well, it's the Jews that invited them in. I mean, that's the whole joke, isn't it? The Jews open the door, and then the Muslims walk in. That's it. It's like that's how.
That's
it works.
not a joke. That actually happened. Yeah. Like I said, the siege of Toledo. Just because they hated the Christians so much, they thought, we'll kill you all. And they let them in.
They say at the siege of Constantinople as well. But, I mean, who knows, right?
That was cannons.
Yeah, well, they say.
Yeah, but I'm trying. I don't know. I just have a think about it. I mean, maybe I can kind of see things from people like Tommy Robinson's point of view. Maybe I've got like too much of that thought in me. I don't know.
I mean, they're definitely not saving us. Like, Israel is not saving the West. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they don't like us. I mean, they hate Christians. They say that Jesus is burning boiled alive in a pit of shit in hell. Yeah. I mean, they fucking hate Christians. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, the whole Jewish conspiracy. Like, think about it, like at least half of the world is following an Abrahamic religion, if not 2/3 of the world, right? So it's Christianity, or it's Islam, or it's Judaism. I mean, and so all of these religions have their roots in Judaism. To suggest that Judaism doesn't have any power is just. It's insane. Like if you look at it as a religion, we all know that the imams of Islam, they want to conquer the world. Okay, well, it's no different with the rabbis of Jew or of Judaism. They view us as goy. And that's what it is.
My argument would be is they don't want people to convert to Judaism, do they?
No.
It's typically, it could be very hard to convert to Judaism, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a cult. Yeah, they don't want anybody. It's a blood religion mostly. Yeah, they don't want to let you in. It's an elitist cult. It's a race religion. It's like a tribal, like the whole Yahweh worship is a tribal deity for their tribe.
Youth pastor, any thoughts, or you like me? You want to avoid the whole issue?
I mean, I think there's two aspects to consider to it. The first is about the existence of Israel, and the second is the more wider one. And I tend to only go for the existence of Israel and make the point of saying, well, if we're saying that each people group need to have their own nation to live in, like we could say about the white British, for example, then the same has to be true for the Jews. So therefore, they have to have their own nation. So the starting point there of Israel existing, I mean, no matter which side of the argument you go on in history, the simple fact of having one nation in the world where it's predominantly Jewish is absolutely fine. Of course, you can then also say, well, if it's good enough for Israel, it's good enough for anywhere else as well. I can't remember who it was that said that, but I saw a video where someone said that recently. As far as the kind of the conspiracy theory side of things on Jews' involvement in Western society in a negative sense, I think you have to basically look at it beyond they're Jews, therefore, and look at it as they're socialists or they're communists who happen to be Jewish. But I don't think there's a Jewish leaning.
Yeah, they're not a
They
monolith.
just happen to be.
Yeah, like I said, they have their own factions and stuff within them. So.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Jewish question. Look, I don't know, man. Like, it's really is a case of going on Wikipedia and scrolling down, looking at early life, and you do that enough times, and you start to get a feeling like, what the hell? I mean, it's like 2001: Space Odyssey. You know, at the end, it's like there's stars. It's like there's Jews, and they're everywhere. I don't know. You just see it. It's the history behind the history. It's very difficult to explain unless you've really looked into it. But they are everywhere. They are at the foundation of Christianity. They're at the foundation of Islam. Muhammad himself went to Medina, which is a Jewish city. That's where he got the money, to sponsor all his raids and so on and so forth. They're behind Freemasons. Like, you want to talk about the Freemasons ruling the world? The entire ethic of Freemasonry is to rebuild the Temple of Solomon. It's all built around that. That's a Jewish temple. It's they're in the porn industry. They're in Hollywood. They're in banking. Larry Fink runs BlackRock, which is the richest company in the world, which just owns everything. Zuckerberg's a Jew. The ADL is policing free speech on the internet. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. You start looking into it, and it's like, oh wow, like, shit, they just got a finger in every pie. I mean, it's just really, it's basically just like America rules the world, and America's greatest ally is Israel, and they've got their fingers into America. They've got their fingers deep into that pie. So I don't, I just don't see how it's a difficult thing to understand, to be honest with you.
I'm just looking at it from, you got to think like I don't know where I fit on the economic scale. I mean, the parts of me that are very working class, but I don't really fit in with the working class. There's parts of me that are very middle class, but I don't really fit in the middle class. I don't really fit in anywhere. But
you have an upper class spirit. That's where you feel you belong. Yeah,
above everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. But when I walk down the street, do you think I'm worried about a Jewish guy?
Yeah.
One of my
that's the thing. It's like it's I'm with you on that. That you can't ignore the more imminent danger. It wasn't a Jew that killed that Ukrainian girl on the train.
Well, that's the trick, isn't it? It's Sun Tzu, isn't it? It's like
but you can't ignore.
They sit in the background. They invite all of these savages into our country, and we're so occupied with dealing with the fucking savages that we don't deal with the person that's invited them in the first place.
Yeah, but you can't just ignore one and focus on the other. We need to tackle them both, really.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I just, I guess it's because I still feel the scars from the Second World War. Maybe I'll buy into the boomer truth regime because, I do. If the Jewish people just exist, then I do have empathy for the idea that they should have a homeland. I have empathy for that. In the same way that I believe the English should have a homeland. The French should have a homeland. Germany should have a homeland. The Indians should have a homeland. Every race on this country, this planet, should have a homeland.
Yeah.
So, so when I see,
and fuck the Palestinians, they don't get a homeland.
Well, I mean, they're living somewhere.
Palestinians don't exist. Palestinians are a made-up people. They are Syrians and Egyptians who've been dumped in one particular place for. Wow. 77 years.
Yeah. Fuck all of those Christian Palestinians that have just been genocided. Yeah, fuck them.
The Lebanese,
they're Syrian or Egyptian. They're not Palestinian. Palestinian as a people doesn't exist. Genetically, if you have a look, the Syrians and the Egyptians are
whoever was living in that land is now been genocided, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah,
maybe they weren't Palestinian, maybe they were Egyptian. Okay, but they're dead, and the Jews have taken over. I'm not even. By the way, I'm not even a friend of the Palestinians, because I know that they hate us. So I don't want anything to do with that war. But I'm just saying.
This is why I want my stance to. I don't really want to think about that part of the world. It shouldn't be our concern. Yeah. That's my stance. It shouldn't be our concern. Although I suppose I could argue that Israel was started by the British.
They made it clear then that they wanted nothing to do with us. So okay, your terms are acceptable. You have your fucking desert, and you just piss off and leave us alone. That'd be great. Stop meddling in our affairs.
They bombed the King David Hotel, didn't they? We gave them a country, and they bombed the King David Hotel.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with that. Okay, all right, you want nothing to do with us, fine. But
well, tricky situation, and I don't want to. I don't want to leave. I don't even want to keep dwelling on it. I'd rather just think about us for now. I just don't really know what to do with it. Like I say, maybe I've got too much scars of the Second World War on me, but even though I wasn't alive, I mean, spiritually,
Hitler definitely genocided the Jews. I mean, the Holocaust is real. I think it's very silly that people deny the Holocaust. Yeah. I mean, there may be a question about the gas chambers and how many people died in them, but to deny that, because if you look at the definition of the Holocaust, it basically just means Jews killed in the Second World War. So it makes nationalists look very, very silly when they deny that, because obviously Hitler killed the Jews. Now you could argue that in the concentration camps they died of starvation or typhoid or whatever, and it's like, well, okay, even if that's true, who put them in the concentration camp? If somebody puts you in a concentration camp, they lock you in a fucking prison, and then they don't give you enough food to eat, so that you starve to death. Like, who's killed you? Well, it's the Germans, So I mean, the idea that that the whole idea of denying the Holocaust is just a little bit silly, and it makes nationalists look like they're covering up for a murder. And you're right, Snogger in the chat. I did deny it for years because I was just going along with what everybody else was saying. But it's silly to deny it. Obviously, Hitler killed a whole bunch of Jews, and killing women and children is probably not a good idea. And I think also, if you look in the First World War, a lot of Jews volunteered to fight for the Germans and for the Russians and so on and so forth. They were much more synthesized into European culture than they are now. You wouldn't see any Jew joining the army now, but back in the First World War, they went and died in the trenches. So there was like a slight kind of period in the history where they were kind of integrating. But for whatever reason, like the Holocaust has happened, and this has become a mythos again. And now the Jews, every Jew in this world is aware of the Holocaust, and they're aware that the white man wants to kill them, or they think the white man wants to kill them. And now it's turned into this weaponized myth, which is the foundation myth of Israel. That's what they wanted. That's why that whole war happened. The Jews wanted to create Israel. Hitler himself was a Zionist. He was moving the Jews out of Germany into Israel, and they created this Holocaust myth. And now all the Jews have rallied behind Israel. That's what it's all about.
I do get sick of like Netanyahu and stuff always coming out with the same thing. If you don't support us, you support the Holocaust. It's like, oh, fuck off. Just tired of that shit always.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the foundation myth of Europe as well. It's like it's deeply entrenched in our culture. It's if anybody says anything nationalistic, it's like, oh, you're a Nazi and you want to kill Jews, and it's like, oh my god, like, oh, I just don't want girls to get stabbed on the bus by black people, like, oh, for fuck's sake, like. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's a very entangling question, but like they're at the bottom of everything. I don't know what to say. Like you keep digging into the subject matter.
Maybe I have too simple of a view about it, because, like, obviously, you know, I could boil it down to a binary, and then I see left with the Palestinian flags, and I see a lot of right with the Israel flags.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, that does happen.
No, I don't want anything to do with either. I think it's all shit.
Neither. I mean, like, I'd much rather us not see any of those sort of flags. That's their problem over there. That they can sort that problem. You know, I don't want to see it on my streets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I played the clip earlier of like Tommy Robinson. Like he got the New Zealand. You know, they're doing the haka, and they got them to tear the Palestine flag up on the stage, and it's just like really? Oh man, like what has this got to do with us, really? Yeah.
But I mean, Tommy Robinson has always been a multiculturalist, because he's got a lot of diverse friends, including Muslims. That's the other thing. I mean, when the media, this is what I hate, the way the media paint him, because he's not anything like that. It's like me, working class guy who spotted a problem. And you can go into the detail with all the other aspects we've just spoken about.
He's pro-immigration.
I mean, I'm not sure what else to call him really, but he's kind of like Herald on his channel. There's that black guy. I call him just Tommy's Herald. Do you know the one I mean?
No.
Fat black guy.
No.
No, I've never come across him.
He seems to be the one who's always on, like, Tommy's YouTube channel, like streaming stuff.
I mean, it's so weird, because like Tommy got in trouble for going to BNP rallies.
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy tells stories about some of his black friends that were barred from these places, and he realised the BNP wasn't the place to be, for him to be. And then you find that Nick Griffin is now having meetings with Muslims.
Yeah.
Against the friends we were just talking about not long ago.
Yeah. And this is like, I mean, Nick Griffin is another one of the Hitler lovers, and of course Hitler liked the Muslims too. So yeah.
Yeah, and I just find it bizarre, and I would like it to be simpler to explain and simpler to understand, and simpler for me to go to a normie. You see that guy, he believes in this. You see that guy, he believes in it. But it's not that simple, is it? I find it complicates things.
Well, that's the whole trick of the Jew. I mean, they've got their fingers in every pie. They're like this mysterious, mercurial, kind of just weird, strange people that are kind of like lurking in the background. And most Most people can't understand them because it's like, I think Kevin McDonald said it. He said you need an IQ of like 140 to understand the Jewish question. Like it's just too it's too weird. I mean,
I just haven't tried, and I'm not looking to try. I mean, you might think that as a bit of a failure on my part. I like to balance an equation. I like to simplify things, and it really muddies the waters.
I mean, that is the problem with the modern world, is that who's in power, it's all so murky, everything about what's going on behind the scenes. It's not like the old days when, oh, this guy's king, this guy's emperor, he's in charge. It's now like, who the hell knows what's going on, who's doing what, who's controlling what groups are. I mean, there are like multiple groups all sort of competing with and against each other, and yeah.
I mean, could you put the split down to globalists v nationalists?
Yeah, I mean, look, a message for the people should be simple. The message for the people should just be in England for the English and in Britain for the British, and that's it. That's all you need. I don't think you need to talk about the Jews to the people. Perhaps in America they do, because it's so much part of their narrative. Israel is a great ally. So, I mean, I think it's probably necessary for them to talk about it. I don't think it's really that necessary for us to talk about it in this country. And I think our focus should be Islam, as you say. Yeah. But I mean, like, if we're on the internet and we're getting philosophical and we're talking about conspiracy theories and what have you, then we can talk about the Jews. I mean, no problem. But for the masses, yeah, Islam is the problem. That's the fucking problem. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, if we can get to the point when we're getting rid of all the Muslims, and then if we're noticing the people trying to stop it, then we can see.
Yeah.
But we can get to that point first.
Yeah, you're gonna have to draw that question out into the light a bit more. So you need to catch it red-handed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And until you've caught it red-handed, you could argue that you got the receipts now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
let's put it this way.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you see it, you
Yeah.
can't unsee it. It's just that is what it is. Like, these fucking people.
Well, I genuinely just want to be blind to that question. Just. I mean, maybe that puts providence to your theory. The fact that I'm more scared of that question than the Islam question.
Well, it's terrifying. Yeah. I mean, all of it's terrifying because it's so dark and it's so nasty. I mean, this is part of the problem we face. People don't want to look at the face of horror. I mean, look, you've got these lefties walking around the place. They just don't want to think about, dirty Pakistani men raping white schoolgirls. It's just horrific to think about. They'd rather stick their head in the sand.
Well, I have a theory about the left. And don't forget, I have an interesting position where I don't, like I say, I'm definitely working class, but I don't really fit in with the working class. If you met me, you'd understand. Like, you met me in person, sort of thing. But I think the left have had a lot of experiences with the Baz character and none from the Islamic character, the Mohammedan. They've been bullied by Baz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because our Baz is like the American jock in a way. And they've been bullied by that Baz, who in many forms has been a chav, a townie, all the other working class slurs you can think of. And you've got to admit that character has bullied the middle class leftist.
Yeah.
So when they are sort of screaming racist and everything, I don't think they're actually protecting Islamists as much as they hate Baz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that American Ellen DeGeneres, whatever, who moved to the Cotswolds recently. She says how much she loves it. It's so much better than America. What she will never admit is that, unlike LA, the Cotswolds is nearly all white where she's living. She'll never admit that's why she loves it.
Yeah, white and middle class.
Yeah.
White and posh and soft.
Yeah.
Nice and polite. Yeah.
Oh, Alphabet Cat got as nailed me.
You're a Neddy. I don't even know what that is. A Neddy.
I've never heard of Neddy. Most people, the Birmingham Black Country split is the are you a Brummie or are you a Yam Yam?
A Yam Yam.
Yeah.
Wow, a Yam. I never heard of that.
Well, it was actually it was part of the West Midlands Police, and obviously West Midlands Police covers the Black Country and Birmingham and Coventry, and the Birmingham Police would call the Black Country Police Yam Yams, and the Black Country Police would call the Birmingham Police Lardies, as in lardy-da, i.e. the Birmingham Police are so posh compared to the people in the country. Imagine that. Oh God.
Wow. Well, I don't know if you can see this. Your country dialect. You've got Indo-European, Germanic, West Germanic, something else, Anglo, English, British English, and all the way at the bottom, at the bottom of everything, there's the Black Country dialect. So well done.
Yeah, apparently it's the oldest Anglo accent in England. It predates almost all of them.
More than like the West Country. I think the West Country is pretty old as well.
Yeah,
but the West Country would come with the Cornish and therefore Celtic roots rather than Anglo.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, my realization about the West Country accent is that if you listen to it carefully, it is the accent of pirates. So all this like
the pirate accent is just made up.
No, the pirate, like a West Country farmer would say "oar," and a pirate would say "oar, my hearties." Like it's half a step away because they all came from Plymouth.
Yeah, but the thing, like the pirate accent, that was made up for some movie. It was like the actor was told speak with a pirate accent. He's like, what the hell is that? So he just sort of did that sort of West Country thing.
Mate, Francis Drake, our greatest pirate, was from Tavistock. Okay, he was a Devonshire lad.
Yeah. Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Our pirates conquered the world. Well, the West Country is obviously the best part of England. I'm sorry to break it to you guys. I know that you're jealous, but that is the truth of it.
Sorry, Northumbria is superior.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know.
Dino Bane would agree with me.
Yeah.
I've got to admit though, I would like to live in the northern England the most. Being it's still not as diverse as other areas. Although I have said wherever you go in this country, you'll find diversity.
I saw Sargon on a stream recently saying that the northeast is actually still quite white. He was saying that the West Country and the northeast is quite white. I didn't hear. I've never heard this before.
It's basically it's just the cities from London to Birmingham and Liverpool and Manchester. It's just like a strip along there in the cities. That's where all the diversity is.
So you need to get away from it. I mean, I will say this.
So it's like the Danelaw still exists, basically.
Kind of.
Okay.
Well, it's partly also weather related because there's a reason why Scotland is still something like 95% white.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we mentioned this last week. Like you'll see, like some of them on what to us is a boiling hot day, and they're still in some big puffer jacket. What is wrong with you? Why are you here? You're clearly not made for this climate.
It's because they're roadmen.
Yeah.
I saw one this summer on an electric bike of all things.
Of course.
And I caught him on my security camera, and I put it around. You know, so I have lots of I have to hide my identity because I have lots of leftist customers. I have lots of leftist friends. I have to hide who I am, which is why I'm so desperate to go on these, you know, just so I can unburden myself with these thoughts. And even the left is like, oh yeah, he's out to thieve a few things. I mean, this is why and I am seeing a lot of. I mean, they're not leftists in the terms that you might think of leftists, not politically active. They're normies, more or less.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know if I do know a couple of people that are quite stubborn in their leftist belief, but I don't think they're politically active, if that makes any sense. But I am starting to see the sway.
Where
I've got to wake up early tomorrow morning. Sorry, but I'm just going to break up the party. But I really do have to wake up early in the morning.
I was going to say where I would love would be I'd love to live in the Lake District, but all tourists are banned. That would be perfect for me.
You say that, but have you heard about the issues in Cornwall at the moment? Cornwall has seen a massive reduction in the amount of tourists, and they are taking quite a hammering financially because of it.
Well, I mean, half of Cornwall's just owned by fucking Londoners anyway, because these cunts just come down and they buy other houses for second homes.
Yeah.
And they need what we need just to end the stream. What we need is Georgism. Okay, everybody that's watching, 33 Masonic number, 33 people watching. Go and Google Georgism. This is what we need. This is the economic solution to all of our problems. Because, and I'm saying this because I am a progressive liberal. But anyway, Youth Pastor, thank you for coming on the show. Very much appreciate your input. Mercian, Tharium, good fun. Enjoyed that. I look forward to this every week, having our little chit chat on a Sunday, and it's been fun, guys. So I mean, you're very welcome to come on the show again, Youth Pastor, whenever you want. As I say, it is a pub stream. It's supposed to be laid back. People can come, drop in, drop off as they like, and thank you everybody in the chat. Snogger, Sharkman, Alphabet, Hemp, Heap Score, all the people in the chat. Thank you for watching. Like the screen, like the stream, subscribe, share it. God bless you all. Rule Britannia. Don't worry, we're going to win. Keep a stiff upper lip. Keep calm and carry on. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Good night. Bush.